thealexjonestore.com. It's not owned by me. The bad guys have no ownership of it. It's been funding InfoWars. Our main sponsor pays for 90% of things. The gold sponsor and a few other things pay for the rest of it. So right now, it's paying to keep us on here. And it's also the sponsor for the new network and the owner of it. So it is important now. I need your help. Plus, these are great products to go to thealexjonestore.com. thealexjonestore.com. And right now, we have a massive sale going on the site. And we also have back in stock the original X2 atomic iodine, made by the same manufacturer, but even better, upgraded T3 trifecta iodine. 50% off for VIP members at thealexjonestore.com, 25% off for regular customers. And you want to stock up because it takes 6 to 8 weeks to make this. It's a process. And we got a limited supply in. It'll be sold out by, I'd say, late next week. So if you want to get it, and what it does to your pineal gland, all your cells, iodine's essential. Most iodine, all of it's in this product, are bound to another element. That's why it's called sodium iodine or this iodine. No, this is iodine, atomic, on the periodic table. Everybody says they've got atomic. No, you don't. You gotta have a DEA license. It takes all this time to make it. Have a special patented facility. Dr. Grip had the idea 15 years ago to do it. He's the only guy that ever came out with this. Nobody else goes out and actually gets the license to do it or goes and does it. We do. It's a big hassle. This is the real stuff. TheAlexJonesStore.com, TheAlexJonesStore.com, and everybody that's going to buy anything, the widest selection of t-shirts, the ultramethylene blue, the Shilajit, the best Irish sea moss, the best bovine colostrum, you should be a VIP because there's no commitment. It's $30 a month, canceling time for free. You instantly, when you're charged $30, get $40 to spend in the store. So you make $10 right there on top of, you make 40 for your 30. You get special deals, special offers, special sales on everything. And then you get all these special offers and email, everything else, and you can cancel anytime. So become a VIP now. And if you're worried about something selling out, when you buy the T3 or the methylene blue, become a subscriber. You get 50% off locked in perpetuity as long as you stay a subscriber. Canceling time for free as well. Become a subscriber, become a VIP now, and get T3 while you still can at thealexjonestore.com and keep us on the air regardless, because the info war goes on. You are the info war. Stay with us. Has InfoWars not delivered? In Gladiator, he chops up the first 4 guys when they throw him in the ring or in the arena, and he says, "Are you not entertained?"
Are you not entertained?
Well, I would say to you, are you not satisfied? Have we not delivered in the fight against the globalists? You bet on the right horse, and I'm asking you to continue to bet on us as the info war continues on, regardless, as we refuse to submit to the tyrants. But the reason this is such a win-win or a non-zero-sum game or a 360 win that Termite coined over a decade ago is because everybody participating supports freedom, supports the fight against tyrants, the fight for team humanity against the globalists, and you get incredible products at the same time. So if you haven't tried ultramethylene blue or our bovine colostrum or our sea moss or our Shilajit, these are all incredible products available right now at thealexjonestore.com. And if you're going to buy anything on the site, you should become a VIP for $30 a month, cancel any time for free, and instantly $40 is put in your account. The second you click in a VIP, when it recurs each month, instantly $40 goes in, so you make $10 to spend on top of the $30 you spend. Special deals, special offers, and with one click of your profile, you cancel anytime for free. So it's a very light commitment, and you get special deals on top of everything else. So anybody buying anything on thealexjonestore.com should be a VIP, so make sure you do that. You have until the 17th of March to take advantage of the March mega sale at thealexjonestore.com. This is one of the biggest sales of the year yet. Up to 40% off store-wide. 25% off on the shirts, on the hats, 10% off on things like the collectible knives, and up to 40% off on supplements like ultramethylene blue. And the more you buy, the more you save. So take advantage of the March mega sale right now, running until the 17th at thealexjonestore.com, and be the reason we'll always stay on the air. Again, I salute you and thank you. Take action now.
getting this in right now. On Iranian state media, a presenter read a new statement from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, and Reuters is reporting a few highlights from those remarks, saying that the supreme leader said in the statement, "We believe in friendship with neighbors and only target the bases, and we will inevitably continue." That is not true. We know that many Gulf countries have had their residential and civilian infrastructure attacked. Now, Iran's new supreme leader in this statement goes on to say all U.S. bases should immediately be closed in the region, and those bases will be attacked. He also says in the statement, again, that was presented on state media, he does not appear in the statement, that he calls on unity among the people of Iran and participation in Quds Day. Now, Quds is the Arabic word for Jerusalem, and this day normally falls on the last Friday of Ramadan. And so, if my math is correct here, that would be March 20th of this year, the last Friday of Ramadan, when traditionally we have seen Iranian proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah launch attacks and also large demonstrations in the region. And so this is certainly something to look out for in the days ahead. But again, this is the first statement that we are receiving from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. He speaks about the attack.
But, I mean, Trump said like 10 times the war's over, we won. What was the war about? Oh, regime change. No, they're missiles. Oh, no, they're nukes. Meanwhile, Iran's new supreme leader in coma despite officials releasing new message they insist he has written. And the Israelis have more spies in Iran than anybody else, and they've not BS so far about who they've killed or who they've hurt. I think that's probably true. I think he probably is in a coma. That's why he hasn't been seen for 6 days or whatever. But they'll have their new one put in soon. Or they may just say he's alive, and then the council continues to rule. But a bunch of the council was meeting again at their big Islamic center yesterday, and a 30,000-pound bomb got dropped on them from a B-2. And we have the mushroom cloud shot of that. And people say, good, we're kicking their ass. It's only making them more radical. It's only making them attack more. They put mines in the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. This will cause serious damage to the world economy and the U.S. economy. Trump's like, don't worry. We'll sell the oil. Well, that'll take months to get capacity up to that. And then when it does the economy, with Iran blasting all its neighbors, and people pulling out of there. It's a serious situation, folks. And Trump will be pressured to put troops in on the Iranian side of the Strait of Hormuz, as they're now talking about doing. Let's got a clip of Newt Gingrich that we're going to play when we come back, and some others talking about this. But Newt Gingrich is right. If they can't keep it open, the war will in fact be an American defeat before very long. He explains why. He is a really smart historian. Say what you want about Newt Gingrich, he knows his history. Big time. So that's what he is, a professor of history. We're going to go to break. I want to take 6 or 7 calls on the war, on what's unfolding, what you think is coming next. How does Trump pull out of this? The Iranians and Israelis are refusing to pull out. I want to take your calls on the other side. We're going right to you because I'm just taking a little tranche of calls before Ron Morello comes in. 877-789-2539, 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. And we'll put military callers or aid workers or geopolitical experts to the head of the line, 877-789-ALEX. And that is coming up. But what a tumultuous time. I mean, look at this. Iran and Israel plan to keep fighting as Trump seeks exit. And both sides say, we're not stopping. And Israel launched the attack to drag us into it. And now Congress was briefed by the White House in a closed-door meeting 2 days ago and confirmed it. Man, Israel really makes it hard not to hate their leadership. I don't want to get down on the level of that. I just want to oppose it because I don't want to be associated with all the frothing anti-Israel people that are lie about everything and, the rest of it. But I'm not associated with the Muslims, the anti-Israel people, the Israels, just all of it. You just all need to be sent to Mars. We'll be right back. Stay with me. I am making this historic announcement on Friday, December 12th, 2025. The future of InfoWars hangs in the balance. It is in your hands. They're having a state auction in January next year in about a month, but we don't even have the money for payroll or for satellites or for bandwidth. We've got this next shot to survive, but if we don't get the funds in, we shut down. So we're selling 3 emergency limited edition posters at InfoWarsStore.com right now that are critical to us staying on the air. I want to encourage you to go now to get I Have Not Yet Begun to Fight, John Paul Jones poster, and 2 others, Make No Peace with Evil and Defend the West, Iconic Crusades. Go now to InfoWarsStore.com to get 1 or more of these iconic posters, limited edition. We cannot do it without you. I have fired the bat signal. Take action now if you want to stand with us in this fight at InfoWarsStore.com, and I salute you for your support.
Receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
What is the reason, if the nuclear program isn't the reason, as poor Ted Cruz, I never thought I'd put those 3 words together, is over there talking about nukes? And we know that the intelligence did not suggest that an attack was imminent from Iran. What is left? Why are we at war with Iran?
Great question. Yeah, great question. I mean, the simplest explanation, might be the one that they gave 24 hours in, that they've kind of tried to backtrack since then, which is that Israel made us do it. That Bibi decided on this timeline, Netanyahu decided he wanted to attack, and he convinced Trump to join him by scaring Trump into believing that U.S. assets in the region would be at risk, and so Trump was better off just joining Netanyahu. I hope that isn't the full explanation, but you're right. As we are now hearing that the nuclear program is not part of their targeting campaign, as we're now more confident that even harder line leadership is taking hold, as the Strait of Hormuz is still being shut down, even as we get their Navy, what's left as the explanation? It might just be that Israel forced our hand. And how weak does that make the United States look? How weak are we if our allies can force us into wars of choice that are bad for U.S. national security interests?
Boy, I hate agreeing with Senator Chris Murphy, because we know he was involved quarterbacking with the DOJ, the lawsuits against me. He's really a bad dude. But I've got the articles here. Congress was briefed on all this, and they go, no, it's true. Netanyahu, that they launched the attack, they told us we'd be hit. We had to. Wow. And Trump didn't lie when he said, no, I ordered them to go. Well, that's because weeks before, Trump was ready to go, but limited strikes. Israel said, no, we're not ready yet. But it turns out that wasn't true. Israel wanted to drag us into a full war and get non-nuclear sites hit. Trump was going to hit nuclear sites again. So Israel hit them saying, oh, the missiles are going to hit your bases, which they would have, so force us into full war. That's Israel openly running the United States of America policy. And then Israel blows up most of their oil refineries over the weekend. Trump gets pissed. That was later confirmed, saying you started an energy war. You just legitimized them hitting energy, which they started doing. And then a few days later, Trump's on board suddenly with Israel. He's been convinced, yeah, we could blow up all their power stations. We could knock them back in the Stone Age. Oh, that sounds like liberation. That'll teach them. In the meantime, they'll block the Strait of Hormuz for a year, and we're bankrupt. Not what we voted for, Trump. Not what you said you would do. So we play that clip again of Trump just yesterday saying, oh, we could just totally, knock them to the Stone Age. Wait, I thought it was about nuclear sites. Oh, then missiles, then regime change. Now, Stone Age.
Oh, you're not going to admit it?
If you don't do what we say. Well, for the average American, we're pretty much in the Stone Age. 67% of Americans hand to mouth, debt the highest levels ever. Our roads falling apart. We spent $20 trillion over there in the last 25 years. You know what I think it's bigger than that now. What $20 trillion would have done here?
Got an idea? I think you do. You look at Dubai, you look at Beijing, you look at all these countries that actually invest money in the infrastructure. Not here, though, folks. Not here. It's all going to be siphoned off. Interest of the bankers and wars, all this crap. I mean, here's Trump.
Very good shape. The main thing is we have to win this. They win it quickly, but win it. And there are many people, I'm just watching some of the news. Most people say it's already been won. It's just a question of when. When do we stop? We don't want to let it regrow. And ideally would like to see somebody in there that knows what they're doing. In other words, they can build a country. Now, one other thing. We can hit sections of Tehran and other places that if you do it, it'll be almost impossible for them to rebuild their country. And we don't want that. But we can hit electric, we could take apart their electric capacity within 1 hour, and it would take them 25 years to rebuild it. So ideally, we're not going to be doing that. Thank you very much.
That's a threat. Ideally, we don't have to, burn your grocery store down if we don't do what we say. Mafia tactic. So, let me get a few headlines here, then I'll go to your calls. Iran and Israel plan to keep fighting as Trump seeks exits. Fresh U.S. intel assessment says Iran regime not close to collapse after 2 weeks at war. Leaked U.S. intel undermines Trump's claim that Iran war is won. Well, I don't need to have intel tell me that. 95% of intel is public, like the intel guys tell us. As new Ayatollah issues chilling threat to American troops. Russia's raking in billions every few days from this war. Iran declares U.S.-Israeli economic backing interest in the region are targets, including all the telecommunications and tech companies and biotech. Yeah, escalating real fast. And then last night, there's a news blackout in Israel. I saw without even looking. I remember when I say without, I mean, if I then went and looked. Without looking, I found like 5 or 6 videos, confirmed videos, of hundreds of missiles raining down on Israel. Out of Lebanon and out of Iran. I went and looked and saw all these new ones. I mean, dozens. I mean, Israel's being hammered. Whole blocks just blown apart. How long are they going to deal with that? This is a big-ass war, folks. And if the CIA would open the door in 79 to put the Ayatollah in, or had the overthrow of Mossadegh, our ally, in 53, or if Obama wouldn't have funded the Arab Spring, or if Israel wouldn't have funded Hamas and created them, or if our government hadn't put the head of Al-Qaeda in charge of Syria, see? I don't want to hear about regime change. It's done to put even worse people in. Saddam Hussein was a CIA commando that followed every order he was given until he was set up in 1990 when he was basically told to go into Kuwait. And then we gave him to the Shiites, the Iranians, to hang his ass. I don't want to hear it. These wars are bull. And the old Trump knew it. The new Trump's been brainwashed with threats that Iran's about to have a nuke. Newsflash, Trump, they already got nukes. They don't have systems to deploy them, though. Here's Newt Gingrich on how important the Strait of Hormuz is. A lot of the neocons are like, it's no problem. Trump's like, we'll just boost oil production here. You haven't studied it, Trump. It would take a year to boost it up to that level. And after a year, we're already you-know-whatted. Here it is.
Look, there are 3 huge challenges that this administration has tackled. The first is that, and they should have frankly moved on this on day one, they have to keep the Strait of Hormuz open.
Yes.
I don't care what it costs. If they can't keep it open, this war will in fact be an American defeat before very long, because the entire world, including the American people, will react to the price of oil if the Strait stays closed very long. So I lived through this with Reagan, as you did, in the late 80s. Keeping the Strait open is the #1 job because it buys you time for the 2 other jobs. The second job is we're going to discover that the Revolutionary Guard is tougher than we thought it was, better connected, and have at least 200,000 people who are true believers, and they have no future. I mean,
right.
Trump can say unconditional surrender.
Right.
These folks know if they lose power, they have no future. And the third challenge is, how do you arouse and organize the street, the 85 million or so people in Iran who do not want the current regime, but they're unarmed, they're unorganized, and that has to be solved. These three problems are going to decide whether this was a stroke of genius or, frankly, a step into quicksand. And I think that the president has to focus very hard on solving these three issues.
That's right. And that's a hawk. That's a pro-war guy. Say it's a gamble, which is why the Joint Chiefs said, don't do it. Don't do it. We'll see. Ain't going well so far. Oh, they're well organized, the Republican Guard, the Iranian Guard, and they're here. And then, of course, when they attack, we'll kill them. And then they're going to have TSA on the street sticking their arms up our butts forever. We're going to lose our freedoms. That's how this works. They let them in. They were here before Obama and Biden, but now they're really here. All right, let's go to the calls. Mike in Alaska, thanks for calling. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning, Alex. I'm disgusted. While the world burns on the other side, our justice system at home is being destroyed by Pam and Todd and the insiders and washing scum. I'm so disgusted. We have speed bumps on our roads and highways on the 15. They can't even get the speed bumps out of the beautiful freeway in Utah and Wyoming. Be careful, because your RV trailer or semi will fly through the air. I mean, our country is a tangled web of planned neglect. Two simple balloons with a wire connecting them will drop high transmission lines. It's a freaking felony offense to let a metallic balloon go because our infrastructure is so goddamn ruined. BLM is killing our wild horses. Our view shed, they go, oh, we can't take this view shed of these historic mining head frames out in the desert with these terrible tailing piles. So they tear them down. They kick the
Let's be clear. They got billions of dollars to kill horses, literally, and to tear up old mines and to harass farmers, but no money to fix giant potholes. It's all planned to destroy us.
Yes, sir. They'll tear a beautiful.
Sir, they spent $15 million to put shrimp on treadmills. Okay.
Yeah, and they'll put windmills up, turbines up. The killer eagles talk about ruining the view shed. These son of a bitches haven't got a clue. The solar mirrors are heating the atmosphere. They don't even work. I drove through Tehachapi once. There's 5,000 turbines sitting there idle in the flags.
Well, that's a good thing Trump is killing the windmills, and I appreciate your call. And by the way, tens of millions of Americans just got $3,000, $3,700 tax returns off the tax cut. And there's a lot of good stuff Trump's doing. That's why this is a shame. Let's go to Ethan in South Dakota. Ethan, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning, Alex. Hey, I wanted to ask, now that the Iron Dome is compromised, do you think Jerusalem in our lifetime will, finish the third temple? And with all they've been doing to genetically modify the red heifer, might they be doing anything to expedite
I mean, they want to rebuild it. You got the head rabbi saying they want to blow up the Temple Mount and blame it on Iran. They sure want to do it. Muslims will go completely insane if that happens. The Iron Dome, all this stuff's been already penetrated. And so Israel wasn't calculating for that. And so Iran is almost in the driver's seat right now because they're willing to die. And so
amen.
What do you think is going to happen?
What do I think is going to happen? I mean, we all know about the Samson option. I wouldn't put it past them. Hey, thanks for having me on this morning.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, people don't know, if Israel gets cornered and is going down, they're going to nuke everybody. And the Iranians, they've got nukes. They just don't have delivery systems. It's easy to make a nuke with the material or an A-bomb. It's hard to miniaturize it and put it on a missile. They're attacking Hegseth now for eating lobster. All right, let's go ahead and talk to Jacob in Colorado. Jacob, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, Jacob, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Alex Jones, first-time caller, and I'm a huge fan of you.
Well, God bless you, brother. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, so I just wanted to ask, so what if not regime change, what's this war about?
Well, they wanted to say it was about getting rid of the nuclear material, the program, and their missiles. That's phase one. It's not really a lie that they want that. That's like a side objective, but that's the cover objective. So it's the fake primary objective. The primary objective is regime change, which they've now admitted, which has not happened. And now it's triggered the mullahs to go into full kamikaze mode. And now we got big problems because now we're committed to this. And you heard Newt Gingrich, they're going to have to send, and I'm not saying do this, but Trump's going to be pressured to send the 82nd Airborne and others into Iran to secure the other side of the Strait of Hormuz. Because it doesn't matter we have air superiority. They can easily close the strait physically by controlling that shoreline with the weapons they've got.
Dang, yeah, this is really crazy. My gas, I used to pay $35 for a full tank. Now it's $50.
Well, wait till it's 70 or 100, brother.
Oh yeah, no. Do you think that there would be any attacks on our homeland? Do you think?
I mean, we already had a guy 12 days ago screaming Allah Akbar, Shiite, wearing an Iranian flag and property of Allah. Go try to.
That could be,
if the cops hadn't killed him in 45 seconds, he'd have killed even more people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, do you think that might have been a false flag, though? Or
no, he had a long history. It had already been looked at. Huge social media thing. He was a drooling lone wolf, mad that his Pope was killed. He did it because the Ayatollah got killed. You could tell a false flag from a real thing. And Iran, their leader just said in the statement, we have asymmetrical forces in the West that the U.S. can't deal with. That means sleeper cells, bro.
Got you. Okay, no. Thank you for taking my call, sir.
Thank you. But here's the deal. These could be false flags. We don't know until the event happens. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, I mean, it could be doing anything to get us into this war,
Yeah, well, I mean, there's like 5 camera angles of the guy. Totally pissed off, wearing his property of Allah, and running around shooting people in downtown Austin. So, and so that's a real event. Like when Governor Whitmer, they tried to get a bunch of potheads and homeless people for years, giving them money and food to claim they'd kidnap her. And their own audio got released to the trial because they were too lazy. They handed it over the thumb drives to the defense. Thanks for the call. And had erased the thumb drives, but you have to erase them and overwrite them. So the defense was able to recover all the raw hundreds of hours with them like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want a Big Mac and weed. No, you're going to kidnap Whitner. I'm not going to do it. I don't even want to have a gun. I'll give you $4,000. Just say you'll kidnap her. I'm not going to do it, but fine. $4,000. I'll kidnap her. I'll kidnap her. I mean, and the jury's like listening to this. That's why they had to try him 3 times to convict any of them. 2 juries, they got let off because there was literally a setup. Those are actual transcripts. I just want weed and a cheeseburger. That's your false flags, folks. Not the psychotic Muslims they've brought in here. Okay? That's real. Doesn't mean they can't stage something, but when you see a drooling, crazy-eyed Muslim who's got a huge history of it, and then you know it when you see it. See, Iran hadn't given the order yet for the sleeper cells. I said that day, hours before it happened. I said, if it's giant, huge power grid attack, capital attack, key people hit, that's a real Iranian attack. If you see people going around shooting up buildings, shooting up people, that's a lone wolf who's pissed off. Or it could be a false flag. I mean, look at that lunatic. From an African country that's 97% Muslim. Because they kill you if you're not. All right, let's talk to Emmett in Washington. Emmett, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. You had Mike Lindell on yesterday, and I've been wanting to see if you could arrange to get him on and Patrick Byrne on to kind of do a debrief on what's going on with the electronic voting systems after the capture of Maduro, because Patrick Byrne told us that was the real reason for capturing Maduro, was to basically compromise the Venezuelans' control over the electronic voting systems.
Yeah, and we've seen a bunch of raids in Arizona, Georgia, and a bunch that haven't been announced yet. Since that happened, I think that adds weight to that. Plus, I've talked to people that were in cabinet meetings 3 months ago when Trump was already talking about all this. So I don't think that's speculation. We'll get Patrick Byrne back on. Guys, set up Patrick Byrne, please.
Yeah, we just never really got a debrief on, like, can we actually trust our electronic systems or any of the voting systems?
Well, we already know we can't. They're already totally compromised by design.
Yeah, that's, you know, and if we need all the help we can get if since this war is going to tank the Republicans' chances in the midterms.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call, brother. That's a good point. We need to do an update on that. We got some type of activity near a synagogue, a bunch of police responding to an active shooter at Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield, Michigan, shortly after active shooters shot and killed at Old Dominion University, Norfolk, Virginia. Police swarm active shooter at Michigan Synagogue. So let me get that straight. Is that multiple states, guys? See what I said? You start... Excuse me? Yeah. So see what I told you just minutes ago. And for the last 12 days. If you start seeing a bunch, that's when it's coordinated. And what did I say when Iran gave the go code to launch attacks 3 days ago? I said on Tuesday, I said the order went out Monday. I said look for attacks Thursday. Have the archivists get it? I said it I said it Tuesday because the order went out Monday, and I said it'll be 3 days after. Generally, there'll be an attack profile. You study that. I would just guess it'd be a 3-day timetable to launch attacks 3 days after message sent. Give them 3 days to prepare. Just be my general battle research off previous governments and systems. I've studied the Spanish Civil War, countless other systems like that. But I can't go into a 2-hour description of why I know that. But D.C. airport evacuate whatever suspicious package. Well, let's hope this isn't the start of the sleeper cell attacks. Oh, boy. Will in Florida. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, brother. I get straight to the point. They're doing the war to affect over there overseas to affect the war here in America. To not only to get the Sharia law Muslims excited, but this is a point that I have to stress. Islam is not a religion. Islam is Sharia law, but Islam is disguised as a religion so they can fool
Islam
people
is a military death cult brainwashing system. Mm-hmm. It's the original MK Ultra. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. And Trump and his team need to get Sharia law Muslims out because it's not a religion. A religion, they disguise it as a religion to stay here. Sharia law does not.
And listen, the government knows that. That's why they brought them here to then take, so they could take our rights away and have an excuse to blow them up. See how that works?
Right, but people need to spread this message more because they try to say, oh, we're protected under our Constitution, Islam. No, Islam is not a religion. They need to stress that. It's Sharia law. And plus, they're distracting Trump to get out the Sharia law Muslims building there in Texas and all throughout the countries. And Mandami, he's a Muslim, believes in Sharia law. And
Mandami is 100% an Islamic general, absolute scumbag. He's a brain bug. You can take one look at him. He's there, been picked by the corporation, the Muslim the Muslim Brotherhood. When I say corporation, to take over, he's an Obama acolyte. Obama is the real head of the Muslim Brotherhood, just so you know.
Right. Under our Constitution, not only a Sharia law Muslim should not be in office as a mayor, but he's an admitted socialist. And socialism is not protected under our Constitution.
No, I hear you, brother. I got to jump. All right, we got looks like the sleeper cell's been activated. We got terror attacks in Virginia and Michigan. We'll come back with the latest on that. I said Tuesday, if these Iran sleeper cell attacks are real, the attacks I would imagine will start Thursday. We'll be right back. Stay with us. My people perish for lack of knowledge. That's what the Bible tells us. Another way to say it is, those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. God has given us compounds in nature that aren't just important, they're vital, they're essential. If you don't have oxygen for 4 minutes, you die. You don't have water for 4 or 5 days, you die. If you don't have food for a month, you die. And why is that? Because there's nutrients in the food you need that are essential. Well, iodine is one of the essential nutrients. We have massive shortages of it in our depleted soils. Now, I have a new CIA declassified document I'm going to hit here in just a moment. But first, I want to show you a few headlines. UN study, 2 billion people suffer from vitamin mineral deficiencies, particularly iodine, the #1 cause of cognitive disabilities in the world today. Here's another one. Salt smarts, how iodine has increased America's IQs. Starting in the 20s, we had super low IQs like iodine. They put it in 15, 20-point increase. My point is, this is a known fact. It just got declassified 2 weeks ago, CIA Operation Artichoke in the 50s. They said, we've been tasked by the big tax-free foundations, the Rockefellers and Carnegies, to dumb down the American people. And we're going to put poisons in the food, the water, and the vaccines to dumb them down to make them more manageable. Absolutely incredible. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, I have taken a few drops of our new T3, even better than X2, pure atomic iodine, and mixed it with our medical-grade methylene blue. Both of these supercharge your cells, clean out your body, and counter the effects of the things now being admitted by the CIA. That fluoride calcifies the pineal gland and jackets your cells where they cannot transmit. Now, I've been telling you this for decades. They have major studies, but now here it is. CIA declassified research. The human body is a liquid crystal that is literally transmitting and receiving a transceiver. And what does fluoride do? It literally blocks that. What goes in and strips that out? Iodine and methylene blue, they act in different ways. So this is information the bad guys not want you to know. Also in the CIA document, they admit that most cancer is microscopic worms. There's hundreds of species that get in and colonize your body, amoebas, and eat your breast, your liver, your brain, you name it. And then they call it a tumor in cancer when they're just areas of your body that have been chewed out. Now, you've seen us with countless doctors and scientists on talking about this. Not all cancer is this, but the majority of it from studies is, and they are again telling you that you just got to die. And if you've got an infection of parasites in your brain or whatever, if they hit it with radiation, it kills the parasites. But the radiation also kills your regular cells. Turns out the majority of people in the world have one form or another of parasite. Here's the Daily Mail. CIA faces furious backlash after a hidden document. The potential cure for cancer is declassified after 60 years. We've talked about this for many, many years. We are totally vindicated again. And right now, we finally have the original pure iodine back, but even stronger, now known as T3. The original X2, but even better, at thealexjonestore.com. Again, ladies and gentlemen, T3 and what it does for your body is amazing. So for a limited time, you get T3, our new iodine, the very best ever, at thealexjonestore.com. If you're a VIP member, for 50% off. Regular customers, 25% off at thealexjonestore.com. It funds the operation. Total win-win. Now, methylene blue, you feel in 30 minutes on average. Iodine takes about 2 weeks to kick in to get the full effect, but it is just as amazing. You are insane if you don't go to thealexjonestore.com right now and get our Ultra Methylene Blue and the new T3 that's even better than the next two. The same formula, but stronger. Exclusively available right now at thealexjonestore.com. And I thank you so much for your support.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the Resistance. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
I encourage people to read. Okay. Sandra?
Fox News Alert here. You're looking live. We are getting some word out of Michigan, specifically from Michigan State Police, an active shooting incident ongoing in West Bloomfield. This is northwest of Detroit, Michigan. The active shooting incident beginning at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Under 1 hour ago, we are still. This is still being described as an active shooter situation. An alert has gone out there in Bloomfield, Michigan. The state police is asking for the community members there to stay away from the area to allow the police to respond. Troopers are also increasing patrols at other places of worship in this district. The address there describes Temple Israel, which, according to their website, describes themselves as the nation's largest Reform synagogue. On their website. But again, the police are on the scene. You're looking live, West Bloomfield Township, Michigan. We've got Bill Daly on the phone. Bill, we're just starting to get some early details here, but it appears an active shooter situation, sadly, at a synagogue there in Michigan.
Yes, Andrea, and certainly by the looks of it, a massive police response. So, went to show whether that shooter is still actively involved in committing an incident, or whether they are investigating the kind of post-aftermath of the shooting. But it certainly seems like law enforcement was very extremely responsive to this, as well as emergency services. But as we know in these type of cases, is that as they approach the scene, not knowing whether it's perhaps one shooter. I mean, we do say an active shooter. We just don't know whether there are any other accomplices or people in the area who pose an additional threat to both the individuals at the synagogue as well as to police and emergency responders. So, as we've seen in some of the past incidents, the police are very forward-leaning and certainly learn from some of the incidents that have happened in school shootings, where they need to kind of move very quickly, and even if it's sometimes passing by people who may be injured or shot, but they need to make sure that there are no further shooters or no further threats posed by individuals who may be involved in this incident.
All right, this is about 15 minutes ago on Fox. We have the latest here in Michigan at the synagogue, about 25 miles away from the big Islamic headquarters there in Dearborn, where the politicians openly chant death to America, death to Trump, death to the U.S. military, death to Israel. We have reportedly him crashing a vehicle through the building, into the building, and then opening fire. And then we have an active shooter alert issued also at Old Dominion University there on the East Coast in Norfolk, Virginia. And the police reportedly killed that shooter. If we start seeing more of this, this is the Iranian sleeper cells. Now, the Iranian supreme leader, or whoever put the report out officially on the government, because reportedly he's in a coma, Israel says, and they haven't lied so far when they hit these guys and kill them. They didn't lie about the last Ayatollah they killed last week. So I would believe them on this. They don't usually lie about who they've killed or wounded. But in the report, he says, we've got asymmetrical warfare. We've got other systems they can't counter ready to hit them where they live. Now, that sounds like sleeper cell. Then we saw reportedly this White House report that came out. They're trying to deny now. That came out 4 days ago, that they got the go code to the Iranians. The Iranians have said, we think we're about to take it down. We'll hit the Strait of Hormuz, and we'll also activate sleeper cells. Now, the deep state or other groups could stage false flags. I don't know. But I said, generally, as a rule of thumb with sleeper cells, they give them 2 to 3 days, sometimes 7 days to launch the attacks, because they're cells, and they get the code. Generally, from deep research, it's usually about 3 days, and then they want to attack it generally in one time so that it's harder to target them. It creates more hysteria and more fear, kind of like when they killed the head of the New Generation cartel, and they all attacked at the same time a day later. So it could happen a day later, 3 days later. I said on Tuesday, I said, if this really is real sleeper cells, I would imagine start seeing attacks Thursday. And we'll get the archivist to grab that. But I don't know if that's what this is. This could be random. Brianna Morello, incredible reporter. She's also assigned as a Pentagon correspondent with her own news site. And she's here with us today. She was already here just to talk about her show and the work she's doing and what's happening. But Brianna, I know this is developing now. I know you can't really get into what's currently going on, but just in general, what's your view of this?
Yeah, so as we watch to see what the details are in regards to all of this, Alex, we're looking obviously at what's nearby. Obviously, Dearborn, Michigan is only 22 miles away, so that's deeply concerning. But again, we have to make sure that we know all the information as to what actually is going on here, whether or not who this individual was. So we're going to keep waiting for that. I also wonder, maybe the control room could try to look this up to see if there was any events taking place at the synagogue today, specifically during the times that this attack occurred, this alleged attack occurred. So again, we don't know obviously what's going on the ground. This is all fresh and it's all dropping pretty quickly, the news. But it looks like Nick Sorter says the K-12 school at the temple
was not in session.
Was not in session when this took place. That's per Fox News he's citing there. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly was going on in that synagogue, because if this is obviously a targeted attack, there would be a reason why this person was going after the synagogue in the first place.
And it could be a Iranian or Shiite lone wolf, which I said Saturday, 12 days ago, you were in studio with me about 7-8 hours before the attack in Austin happened, and I said the biggest overall concentration of Shiites isn't Michigan, isn't New York, it's in Texas. the biggest concentrations are in Michigan. You can look at the numbers, but just for general, the most Shiites here. I said, I think some lone wolves will probably be mad their Pope got killed. I predicted the next few days we'd see some attacks here in Texas. We indeed did. This could be a lone wolf as well.
It could be, and also keep in mind too,
Could be a white supremacist. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know, and that's just important to keep highlighting that. We don't know exactly what happened on the ground there, and we're waiting to see if the shooter is still active. Obviously, this is something that's going to be very important for us to figure out. But again, as this develops, when we talk about the threats to the homeland, I've been studying this and talking about it extensively as to what DHS deems as a threat. The White House coming out today and trying to say that there was an ABC News report about potential sleeper cells being activated in California. The White House coming out and saying that ABC News got it wrong, that it was an unverified tip that was sent over to local law enforcement in California.
But the White House did say they got the go code.
Yes, they did say that, I believe. And yesterday, too, the president was asked about this specifically, and President Trump, Alex, did say that they know where all the sleeper cells are. They think that they know is kind of what he said. And then he made it seem like the issue was under control. But if you truly knew, you'd arrest these people. But then I take you back to March 3rd. That's when Kristi Noem was giving testimony during her Senate hearing. And she was asked by Senator Lindsey Graham about that specifically as to the known and suspected terrorists that were released into the country by the Biden regime. And in that, she said that they actually don't know where those people are. So it's a bit of a conflict between the president and DHS secretary, which of course resulted in her being ousted as the DHS secretary just now.
And you also talked, we can get into this, I talked to you that literally that Saturday when this happened, and you were talking to the state saying, why aren't you warning about sleeper cells? And they said, we're on it. A few days later, the state did put out an alert.
Yeah, so I've been asking these questions for a while now. I wanted the exact numbers as to how many suspected or known terrorists were led into our country. And again, they don't have to be Islamic terrorists. I just wanted the figures of all of them.
But I think it's 18,000 from Islamic countries marked as terror, and some of them confirmed terrorists.
Yeah, so when you compare, that's the Joe Kent number that was thrown out there back in December of last year. When you compare that figure to the number that I was able to obtain through DHS, and I'm thankful that they did hand it over to us, it's roughly about 7.8% of the suspected and known terrorists have since been captured by DHS. So that's just something to keep in the back of your minds, folks, as we go through all of this. They haven't even captured 10% of the known terrorists that were placed into this country. And
they really can't, because everywhere they go, they get confronted.
Well, that's the other thing, too.
And sanctuary cities won't turn them over.
They won't turn them over either, no. And we also have the problem with our northern border. Most Americans don't realize our northern border is one of the biggest threats to our national security because Canada does not secure it. We actually strongly rely on local sheriff's offices to be the ones to secure the border. And so obviously that's something that's very concerning. But the last number we got from the Canadians was about 700 known terrorists in their country. And so we can only assume that those individuals are probably going to start migrating down south to our country if they are truly being activated.
Amazing. Let me just do this because I didn't mention this. People have asked for this guy to come back on. He's really good, close friends with Trump. He was roommates with him in military school, and he also works for the president. He has a very successful international law firm, and that's Peter Tickton, has been quarterbacking for Trump as a private liaison, even more than Mike Lindell. Mike's done a great job with the money. The investigations that you noticed they came out with 5 years ago that have been proven very accurate. And now we have more FBI raids, not just in Georgia, but in other parts of the country, like Arizona, and I've been told other places, but I can't say at this time. But there's actually action on this that was promised. He's joining us in the next hour with huge updates on the do-or-die situation with the SAVE Act and sabotage of the DOJ of the criminal investigations of open and shut election fraud in 2020. So that's coming up with Peter Tickton.
That's going to be a good one. Yeah, you know, it's so crazy, too. I mean, we heard a little bit about the Arizona, I believe it's Maricopa County, but they didn't give that specific detail. John Solomon saying that there was, I don't know if it was a full-on raid that happened over there or not, but they were able to obtain some of the record. Yeah, I was told it was Maricopa, but that's not official, what's coming from the DOJ or the FBI right now. But, I mean, according to the evidence that they apparently have obtained, John Solomon saying that it's a slam dunk. Yeah.
Well, now the Democrats are like, oh, 250,000 illegals did vote. Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, just in Arizona in one town. I mean, it's the same thing. They said, like, it's 350. Oh, it's more. Oh, that shouldn't have voted in Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, we have them. Trump lost by 11,000 in Georgia.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and that's why it's such a big issue. And this is why so many states, even red states, by the way, aren't handing over their voter registration information to the DOJ Civil Rights Division. Harmeet Dillon is actually suing several states, but it's not just blue states, folks. It's also red states refusing to hand over that information because they're trying to cross confirm whether or not the people that are on these rolls are U.S. citizens. And they've been putting up a heck of a fight. In fact, 3 states so far have won in court against the DOJ as to not turning over those records. One of those states, obviously, including California, but they're putting up a fight to not put up any of that information. It's obviously very concerning, given the fact that these are our elections that we're talking about. But again, red states, Republicans, are refusing to turn over their voter registration to the DOJ, which I find to be quite strange, Alex.
Well, it's posted on my X feed and Rumble right now. Major update on election fraud, FBI raids, and what's coming next with Peter Tickton, Trump's point man on election fraud on the civilian side, coming up. Now, I wanted to get you in here because you've done an incredible job in the last 4 or 5 months, whatever it's been, doing the American Journal. Just 6, 7, 8, 9 guests, per show, breaking news every day, incredible record of accuracy, very journalistic. You've taught us a lot. We appreciate it. And when you came in here, you said, hey, I could probably do this in a few months. I want to come back and be a reporter later. But you've got all sorts of other jobs in D.C., you name it, as a Pentagon correspondent. And so I didn't want this to be a conspiracy theory. When next Friday is your last day doing American Journal, for a while, you're going to come back, you do some shows. I don't know if you want to do 3 hours a day. And our model going forward will be shows that are 1 hour. I'll still do a big show. A few other people that want to do 2 hours, we'll do that. But we're going to have a lot of people like you, doors open, you want to come back, that's great. Taking a sabbatical, which is perfect because the state receiver, they failed in federal court with their fake auctions and trying to shut our doors. We beat them. But the blue-haired, Antifa judge that ran the show trials, she put a receiver in at the state level now about 5 months ago, and they said, yeah, we're not going to pay for the internet bills, we're not going to pay for the all the stuff to keep us going, and we were able to do month to month for a while. Now they're like, nope, we're not paying that. So they're pulling the plug on us. Really, start of April, we've talked to the providers and stuff, and it looks like we're going to shut down the 15th. We may shut down before then. We've survived so much, people don't take this serious, but it's a big deal. So you leave the 20th, and then that'll give us the extra crew that's there to reorganize, get ready. And then as soon as we shift over to the Alex Jones Network, we plan to bring back a lot of 1 hour shows right away. And within 6 months, we plan to be about 15, 20 hours a day. The final goal is about 19 hours a day, 5 a.m. to midnight. Is what we want to do with a lot of hard-hitting, boom, live 1 hour shows. Come in, top stories, guest, hit more stories, another guest, boom. That model that I kind of pioneered that then we weren't able to fully launch because of all the deep state CIA, DOJ attacks against us. But just know that's where we are. But every time stuff happens, it turns into a conspiracy theory. So I want to just thank you for being here, the great job you've done, and just get your reflections on what it's been like being here.
Yeah, so it's been great. These last 6 months have been absolutely amazing. And honestly, to the InfoWars audience, I'm just very, very grateful for all of you who've joined me every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time to deliver the news to the American people. Obviously, it's been quite the enjoyable experience. I actually started off in this field as a producer and really had no ambition to be on air. And
at Fox.
Yeah, I was a producer over at Fox, worked over at Newsmax as well, and local news, and I kind of just jumped into the fray. And so it's been great, and I love doing obviously the independent journalism side of all of this. It's been quite the adventure. But we say it all the time, and I say it all the time on air. The InfoWars family is by far one of the best. It's the best control room that you're ever going to find in the industry. It's also the best standards that you're going to find in the industry, and it's just been such an honor to work with your team, Alex, and you as well, because I wasn't expecting this opportunity, and it sprung upon us, and here we are. I'm honored that you gave me the privilege of hosting your morning show and trusting me with just that and delivering the message to the people.
Well, and you said you can only do about 2 months. You did 6, I guess, so thank you.
Yeah, 6 months.
I know you got a lot going on. That's like 3 hours a day. Plus, you get up at like 4 a.m. A lot of preparation.
A lot of preparation, but it's fun, though. It's fun to do. It is, but 4 a.m. is definitely an early call time for sure. But, it'll be good. We'll be working together, obviously, and I'll be working with you to help build up a news division as well. We'll be getting more access into things.
Yeah, I want you to come in as a consultant to help us set it up right this time. We did it right before, but most people are going like 12 hours a day live. We're going 19. We're going to need real help here.
Yeah, well, it'll be good. It will be great. It will be great, though, Alex, because there's so much information out there. This administration, although it has its faults, they've definitely given me a great amount of access and to.
Oh, they've been totally transparent compared to everybody else.
Well, it's night and day. I mean, I literally have to.
That's why I get upset. I want to look at all the good stuff that's happening.
And then people are always like, Brianna, you're too nice, and I'm like, well, I have to be fair. I mean, I had to sue to get answers from the last administration. Just won the TSA.
Well, don't worry.
lawsuit.
Everybody else runs around attacking administration all day, so it's okay.
It's a breath of fresh air for them, I'm sure. No, I mean, but they've been fair, and I give them criticism, and they still allow me access, and so I'm very grateful. Even the Pentagon, I criticize them, and they still have not shunned me. They still bring me on trips, and so I'm thankful for that opportunity as well.
Well, that's right, and here's the thing. I have people on that I know have integrity and care, and even though our views may differ on some things, it doesn't matter. That's what we want as a discussion.
Yeah.
We're not a cult. I just want integrity. But yeah, in fact, I get mad at myself because I get mad at Trump, and I tend to focus on the mistakes he's making rather than all the good stuff that's happening. Because it really is good. And that's so paradoxical, though. I wasn't against this war because I like the mullahs. He was told it probably wasn't going to work. That's why I was like against it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, we all have different opinions. And this is also another point that I want to make, Alex, because, you know, you and I might not see eye to eye on certain issues, but you don't tell me to stop talking. You don't say, okay, censor yourself a little bit, or if you keep at that, I'm not going to let you be on air anymore. I mean, that was never a dialogue that's ever been had.
That happens big time in places like Newsmax.
It does. It does. Well, in a bunch of outlets, it happens all the time. You know, I get into these editorial meetings and all of my ideas would get shut down and rejected. And, you know, you're not supposed to take it personal, and I don't, but.
Yeah, let's be clear. We're more Wild Wild West. You're credible. You have a great track record. You're amazing. You run everything. There's not meetings where all these editorial people are telling what you can say. No filter.
There's literally no filter.
That's why I got so enraged by Owen, who I love, was like a brother. When you took over for Harrison so he could do Owen's show, I never had any editorial meetings with Owen. I never told him what to say, and he basically did that, I guess, to act like more OG than like, oh, God, I was even too hardcore for Jones. I was like, wow, what a betrayal, man. It's like Brutus, like, you too, Brutus? I mean, like, and I'm not mad at Owen. It was just a real chicken shit thing to do. Have I ever told you what to say or do?
You have not, no. And
other than like, hey, there's a sale, plug this.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's ever been slid my way, nothing else. Well, I have a feeling down the line, you and Owen will get back to being together. I could tell in your eyes.
I mean, it's like your brother, and you walk out in the parking lot, and your brother like punches you in the back of the head. That's why I shouldn't even have made a big deal about it. It was just like, I guess it's, if you can say Alex Jones is a sellout and you're the pure person, it just makes you big. And I did none of that. It really hurt.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Dore did it the other day. He was like, you know, they just do this to feel powerful. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean...
You're here. You see the sponsors. It's what we sell and one gold sponsor.
Yeah.
So many other places, the sponsors are tied to control, or they are getting NGO money. There's no NGO money here, no Qatari money, nothing.
No, it's strictly the audience supporting you, Alex. And that's what makes it so cool. I mean, listen, people are always saying, oh, Brianna, they haven't shut down InfoWars yet. What are you talking about? The reality of it is, if you didn't have the loyal audience that you have, Alex, InfoWars would have been shut long time ago. But because
it's like somebody on death row lives 20 years because they got lawyers.
Yeah.
We've been fighting the deep state for 8 years and beating all their fake attempted takeovers. Finally, they got us.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, but you know, Alex, you have a great plan put in place, and the next operation will be even bigger. And I think the people that tried their very best to silence you in this massive effort will be very regretful of that day, because the audience will only get larger, the talent will only become more incredible, and the message will be even louder.
Well, I've been in this building 17 years, and I like it, but it was also kind of a prison because you're in here so long. But now I love it, and all the memories and just everything, and I'm just like, it's like we're about to put Grandpa on the ground, man. I've actually cried. I'm not a guy that cries a lot. I've had like tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Remember, my kids Rex was little here, like 9 years old when we first got this, or younger, God, 8, 7. I mean, my youngest daughter wasn't even born. I mean, hell, wait a minute. I've been here as long, my middle daughter was born right when we moved in here. She's 18 now. So, I mean, this place is historic.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, it's one of the best studios I've ever seen. You know, Mel K, one of my good friends, when she came in here, she said, Brianna, he's got the best studio I've ever seen. I mean, because we go to all these networks and stuff. Alex, this is by far the best built studio so many of us have seen. But, you know...
Well, I'm not bragging, but I designed it. I mean, the great engineers put it together. Nobody, you're too nice.
Yeah, it's a great
I've been
studio,
too busy designing the new ones. It looks pretty good what they're building, though.
I have a feeling it's going to be bigger and better, and they're going to really regret what they did to you.
Well, to me, it wasn't about having a big studio to be showboat or whatever.
Yeah.
I was making a ton of money, and I'd be like, God, all I need is $2 million a year. I got this extra $1 million. Let's build a badass studio, and then I had a bunch of extra money, and I bought advertising, and it made the show go to #1. So I was just always like, I got a nice car and a nice house. I don't need it, and so I just pumped it all back in. And that's when they got pissed off, because I guess the studio also like triggered them like a red cape to a bull. So when they saw these nice studios, it kind of, because none of the Patriots had these, and it just drove them crazy.
I think it's also interesting, Alex. You know, obviously I've worked in the conservative space for quite some time, and when I'm going around and talking to people, they haven't built what you've built. You know, and I always say there's two of the best, both studios and audiences. It's between you and Steven Crowder. You guys have the most loyal audience. These people love you to pieces. They love Steven to pieces.
He's very professional.
And they've been, you guys have all been under attack, but you all survive, and it's because of a great fan base that watches, and they're extremely loyal.
And they don't like me or Steven because we're fair.
Yeah.
Like, other people are like on one of the other side, and it's just like frothing BS. They lie.
Yeah.
Including some so-called patriots.
It's a little frustrating, too, because it's more of a grift than anything, too, for a lot of these people. And unfortunately, that's kind of what's happened on the right, and obviously in the left, too. But the right, it's shifted completely. And it's just so frustrating because I see all the people who fight online with one another, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, we're supposed to be all in the same thing, you know, going towards the same goal, and here we are, like, uppercutting each other every second of the day. It's not how you save this country, but the mission is...
Yeah, that's it. It's like crabs trying to get out of the bucket, and then they stop the crab trying to get out. I want to see all these shows even bigger. I'm trying to beat an enemy. But other people are like, oh God, we don't want, you know, we don't want you to do well. It's weird.
It's weird, but that's kind of how it is these days. And you know, there's a very few group of people who have given me opportunities to appear on their shows, to do coverage and whatnot. And you know, it's an honor that you've been able to allow me that platform and to extend me over to your audience as well. Because again, I mean, it's really...
Hey, I love the fact that you hit the ground running with so many guests and so much stuff. And I knew you were a great producer before, but
Thank you.
They're great producers too. But you get a lot done. You're like a one-woman army over here.
I know. Well, that's the funny part too, is I've kind of like mastered this skill, and everyone always asks who are in TV too. They're like, I've got like 5 producers. Like, how do we like get more for our bank? And I'm like, eliminate a couple of them. I mean, I don't know. It's just, you have to apply pressure. I've been in so many situations where I've been the only person producing shows behind the scenes, calling people while being on live on air. So
well, a lot of it is you're nice, but I've seen it. But you got to press them. No, this is important. No, just to make the decision to do it.
Yeah.
You got to close the deal.
Yeah, and that's how I am on the phone when I'm asking for comment. When I'm asking, hey, is this true before I run it? A lot of people.
I just can't believe, because you got everybody calling you because you're in the game. I mean, you break like stuff more than almost anybody, other than like Solomon or somebody.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I don't, you know, coddle up to anyone. I speak the truth, and people have been positive about that. Some people are a little afraid of it, so they do want to talk to you on the phone.
But you are assertive and smart. People just respect that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's how it has to be. I mean, I obviously left my job over at Fox for a reason. It was because of the vaccines, and I spoke out openly about that. Fox has never disputed those claims. And so I think a lot of people understand that, and they're afraid because they know that we're going to speak the truth, and we're going to continue doing just that.
Well, that's the good thing about the censorship. Not that it's good in general, but the byproduct is all the good people, medical, media, it forced people out to do their own thing.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I've been able to build up my news platforms and my Twitter platforms and everything that I have, my email
How do people
list.
find you? And we'll do 5 more minutes for Peter Tickton. So I want to talk about your vaccine story. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Brianna Morello. That's BREANNA MORELLO, and independentnewsroom.com.
The best producers in control room. It's true.
Yes.
I'm telling you, and that's what matters. They may be shutting down InfoWars, but they're not getting my little goblins. We'll be right back. So, CIA declassified documents last week, Operation Artichoke to poison vaccines, food supply, and the water to dumb us down and make us controllable. Now new documents about ESP control, how we're really electrochemical systems, liquid crystals, and the pineal gland, and how most people have microscopic to actual large worm infestations, not just from cats, you name it, like Kennedy has one in his brain, and they didn't tell the public most cancer, breast cancer, brain cancer is worms. Ladies and gentlemen, you can look it up, go to the UN's own website, they admit it. Over 2 billion people have cognitive disabilities because they do not have enough iodine. In the 20s, they found this. That's where put in the salt, IQs went up about 20 points on average, 15, 20 points. Well, we have the very best atomic iodine in the world. Has been available in several years, ladies and gentlemen. But we have the original X2 back, but even stronger. Pure atomic. Atomic isn't radioactive. It means it's on the Pure Act table. It is absolutely pure. And I mixed that with Ultra Methylene Blue that is also on record good for your pineal gland and reversing the calcification and the rest of it. Well, we've got the best methylene blue, and I just mixed the iodine with the methylene blue with this water. I'm going to drink this, and this is pure rocket fuel. So good for your body. Essential iodine with methylene blue together is amazing. Pretty scary looking, too. So, by the way, the new product is supposed to be available right now at thealexstone.com is T3. It's X2 back even better at thealexstone.com. So for all the fans that wanted it, everybody that wanted to get it, we have had it for over a year. It is back, reborn, like the Phoenix, even stronger, exclusively available through our sponsor, thealexstone.com. But regardless, our methylene blue, our iodine is the best, and it does so many other things, libido, stamina, energy, and they go together like a horse and carriage. Get them both now. There's also another big sale as well at thealexstone.com, and I thank you for your support.
If you are receiving this transmission,
We are facing a complex situation, but we are united and determined to overcome these challenges together. And let me tell you, raoulbtc has been a game changer for our economic strategy.
All right, next Friday is our final show here, which goes on hiatus. It's X2 back even better. We can't wait for that. All the other great hosts we're bringing on for all the fans that wanted it when we shut down on the 15th. Now, if they back off or something happens in court, it may extend, but I don't think so. This is it. But Brianna, it's incredible your stories. I know you probably don't want to talk about this because you're not a crap talker, but it's important to document things.
Yeah.
What they did to you at Fox, and when you get a Newsmax, you can, just to know what it's like behind the scenes versus here.
Yeah, well, I got to talk about Fox. I mean, that's the big one. I think a lot of people are wondering what happened over at Fox. You know, I worked in the office back in 2018, then left for a little bit, then went back at the beginning of the height of the pandemic, I'd say, and was working remotely for Maria Bartiromo's weekend show as well as another Fox Business show. And while working remotely, I thought I was fine, but they kept hounding me for my vaccination status. Multiple emails, about 4 to 5 of them. The last one coming from Suzanne Scott asking me for my vaccination status and telling me it was now mandatory to hand it over. So when I finally told them I felt uncomfortable, and this is all in email, so it's easy to prove. When I told them I felt uncomfortable that they were asking, and I didn't want to give it over, but since it's mandatory, I'm unvaccinated with no intent on getting the jab. They said, okay, we're just trying to figure out where to seat you when you come back to the office. Well, the day that I took off to unpack my things and to make my way back into the New York City office, they actually forwarded me an email. It was an old email that I didn't receive. That email saying that I had to comply with the illegal New York City private sector vaccine mandate, or I was being put on
Which is a violation of the Nuremberg Code.
Yeah, it was already deemed illegal, actually, by the way, by the Supreme Court under the Biden regime because they challenged it in court, and the Biden regime lost that one, as many of you guys know. And so Fox already knew that it was illegal. Plus, there was no agency assigned to enforce it. There was no penalties if you had unvaccinated employees. So it was garbage. I expressed that to them. I expressed that I wanted to hire an attorney to sue the city of New York. They asked me not to. That was on a phone call. And then, long and behold, I was offered an on-air gig with them if I just got the vaccine or if I just filed for an exemption. I said no. Also in that one email, it stated that I would get a $500 bonus if I got the vaccine.
Well, that's like the mayor going, oh, a burger and fries?
It wasn't.
You mean I get both these?
So tempting.
Delicious.
It was the worst campaign I've
He almost turned me off against cheeseburgers, which is impossible.
Who would have known?
Is it true? I've been talking to a lot of Fox people that the culture is very liberal. They disdain conservatives. Not the host, but most of the producers are pretty much leftists. I
did run into a lot of leftists. They didn't understand why I was giving it the stance that I was giving it over at Fox. A couple of them also were vaccinating their kids at the time. And I was like, Helen, you don't even know what these jabs are going to do to your kids in a couple of years. Like, maybe you should hold off for right now because I don't think they're at risk. But behind the scenes, yeah. Well, that's the other thing too, Alex. I wasn't the only one who left because of this issue. There was a couple of other producers that I knew of. We were in a group chat who had also had the same issue, and they were leaving. But they didn't want to go public because they still work in the corporate media space, and so they didn't want to badmouth the company after that. But I knew it was game over for me. I was done. I had had enough of just being in a bunch of editorial calls all the time, getting rejected. And I mean, I was doing lower thirds, the chyrons, and I was pulled off of that duty because I had put up a banner that apparently was just too far right for Fox Business. So I knew that they didn't like me. They've never disputed these claims too, by the way, Alex. They've never gone out there and said that this information is inaccurate and they deem it another way. Everything was communicated through emails for the most part. There was one phone call I got on. That was it. I refused after that point. And so it's just one of the many layers to this. By the way, Fox took money. If you look up the Blaze did a great story. It was a FOIA request. They were able to locate the fact that Fox took money from HHS to promote the vaccine, but it wasn't just Fox, it was other networks as well. And so it was one of the many.
Rachel Maddow got $89,000 a show to do it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that one. Yeah, I mean, I know that MSNBC, I believe, was on the list as well. I've been trying to get the
If you take the shot, you can't spread it, you can't get it.
Well, that's why they needed to put me in the corner with all the other unvaccinated people, because I was such a threat because I was unvaccinated. But the vaccines worked, apparently. I don't even know the logic there. But that's what they were doing. I mean, they literally were also requiring me to wear a face mask. Also, when I came into the studio prior to them doing the vaccine mandate, they actually told me that I had to wear a face mask, but I also had to get tested before I came into the office.
Total harassment. Well,
Yeah.
your last week here, you'll be back later, but it's a hiatus while we shut down. Your last day is next Friday. You are awesome.
Thank you, Alex.
And I always loved watching all the other shows, but it's so good to get to know you the last 6 months.
Yes, same, and thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
You are amazing. How do they find you one more time?
Brianna Morello on Twitter, and independentnewsroom.com is my newsletter. You get an exclusive straight to your inbox. It is free, independentnewsroom.com.
All right, back in just 1 minute with the latest on the sleeper cells. Trump has responded, and we have Peter Tickton on the latest on election fraud. Stay with us. The widest selection of Patriot apparel and some of the best designs. I shut out when our sponsor said, what do you want? I said, with the widest selection of t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, hats, you name it. I want classic Americana stuff. I want pro-Trump stuff. I want InfoWars stuff. I want comedy stuff. Christian, Crusader, pro-life, pro-Jesus, classic 1776 stuff, quality Leering Center, joke stuff, classic InfoWars gear. It's all there. I mean, just cool shirts saying, I love America with a German pointer on it. I mean, just good stuff. All sorts of resistance to tyrants is obedience to God Punisher shirts. I mean, there are some kick-ass stuff there. Look at that one, American Supply Co. I designed that bad baby. America established 1776 Supply Company. Woo! I like it. TheAlexJonesStore.com.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation, it's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the info war.
If it's a real Iranian attack and the go code has been sent out to all of them to attack, they've already got protocols of how long they have to launch an attack. So you'll have a go code, and usually it's built in saying, you were ordered within 3 days of this message to launch attacks. And there'll probably be more codes coordinating when they specifically want it to start. Or they may just say fire at will. Probably, though, they're going to have a start date. Obviously, the go code came in yesterday, if you believe the intelligence. And I don't know, because we don't have enough information yet, because everything fits both scenarios. The globalists need this right now. This is exactly what the mullahs will do at this point. Because I've been warning. So I'm going to tell you, I don't know yet. But regardless, it's bad. And so they got their orders yesterday to go. I'd imagine built into it, a 3-day build-up clause. Let me see. So they got their order Monday. We could have terror attacks as early as tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. There might be a 7-day build in there, but they hit the doomsday switch. That means go. And if it's real Iranians, they did give the order. I think the terror attacks start Wednesday. Latest Thursday. But this may, and of course you have all the famous spoofing by the CIA, Vault 7, the rest of it documents that, Edward Snowden, where they can even go to Iranian computers, send the orders over. They've hacked into all the Iranian stuff. They could have the real go code and send it to the sleeper cells that are real, but give them the order to attack. See, there's so many scenarios here.
They try to hit us back. Have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there could be inside the U.S. right now?
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border. But we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think.
Is it dozens?
They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst president in the history of our country. And we've got our eyes on all of them. But the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before. It's pretty amazing to watch.
You are listening to an Infowars.com frontline report. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
All right, the balance of the hour. Peter Tickton, very successful national lawyer, long-term friend with Trump since high school, since military academy, and the man on the private end spearheading the investigation into the now confirmed, vindicated mass election fraud in 2020. But you just saw a clip of me on Tuesday saying if the sleeper cell go codes are real, and then I would imagine attacks within 3 days. That's generally how these things are programmed. And on top of that, you now have the Iranian supreme leader putting out a statement. They say he's in a coma, but the leadership, that they're going to activate asymmetrical attacks that the U.S. can't deal with. That's sleeper cells. So there's a very good chance, we don't know yet, that this attack on a synagogue, no one killed but the shooter, and this attack on the Virginia Old Dominion could be part of this. We'll watch. If it is a big movement, we'll see more. Maybe it's a coincidence. We'll follow this as it unfolds. All right, Peter Tickton has been practicing law since 72. And I won't go over his huge background, all the rest of it. He's a confidant of President Trump. And he's been spearheading with his law group investigations into election fraud. Big developments on the DOJ continuing to slow roll and block investigations. Not just this, but the killing the auto pen where they have the eyewitnesses, the chief of staff blowing the whistle. So they just shut that down. Good old Todd Blanche that Peter Tickton was first to blow the whistle on 6 months ago. He was talking about voting machines in Texas primaries, who the left is planning to be the next president, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance impeachment, the solutions to save America. We have FBI raid out in Arizona of election machines, we're now learning. We had a month ago the situation in Georgia with the raid. So nobody has his ear closer to the ground than Peter Tickton. I really appreciate him joining us today. You'll find him at Legal Brains, legalbrains.com, and, of course, at the Tickton Law Group. So, Peter, thank you so much for the time. You're a very smart individual, big fan of yours, followed you for years. Great to have you here. Start wherever you'd like, because there's a lot to cover.
Okay, good. Yes, I guess we're in a mutual admiration society. I got to tell you, you know, you're so right on what so many people are in denial about or not even interested in learning about in the first place. But thank God for you, Alex. You know, there's many people that never get to tell you, but we really appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, where we are now, you know, there's a pivotal issue as to whether we keep America or not. There's so many things that are important. There are people that are in prison that we need to get out of prison. There are people that are walking free that belong in prison. There's so many things like this that are going wrong. They're all important, very important. But there's one pivotal issue. And when I say pivotal, that's more than important. It means that on this one issue, we either get to keep America or we lose America. And you know what I mean by this, but you know what? Maybe I should explain what I mean. You know, right now, we've got Donald Trump in office. It was only through the fact that the computers in Belgrade, Serbia, the data center there was compromised 3 days before the election in 2024. That's the only reason that Donald Trump was able to get a fair result. He you know, he was too big to rig regarding the
That's where
ballot
the magic
stuff.
8 million votes that Biden got disappeared.
That's where the magic votes disappeared. Yeah. So you may have heard me talk about it before, but
No, recap it. Go wherever you want, please.
All right. So let's talk first about voter rolls. We know from Andrew Paquette that the voter rolls contain duplicates. We call them modified duplicates. Okay, he started off calling them clones. It sounded too much like science fiction, so we had to make a better label for them because nobody had ever realized this or seen it before.
Counterfeits.
But what he was able to do was basically find algorithms that were able to find where they are and how many there are and so on. And what they are is like this. Okay, so I'm Peter Tickton, right? If I'm registered to vote, there should be one Peter Tickton with my social security number and my telephone number and my address and my driver's license number and my age, or my date of birth rather, and my voter ID number, right? There should be one of me. But instead, it very well could be that in my county, there's more than one. There could be 2, there could be 4, 7, any number. And all of them have my social security number. All of them have my driver's license number. The date of birth varies a little bit. And the one thing that's different for every one of them is the voter identification number. So what we are finding is that these modified duplicates actually vote. Now, I would vote, so that takes care of one of them. But all of these modified duplicates, they also can vote.
Is that how we have 10 million more people voting in Wisconsin than are voters?
This is how they get the extra people more than the number of voters. It's exactly where they come from. Yeah, we all know that for ballot stuffing and so on, they use dead people. They use people that moved out of that county or out of that state. They use people that are just, they know for some reason are not going to vote. There's different ways of stuffing the ballot box. But this is something different. This is done by machine. So if at first you realize this, then that's really important. But then let's take a look at the machines. Now, because I represent people that have been charged, like Tina Peters, and I represent Stephanie Lambert, who has 2 criminal charges against her in Michigan in 2 different courts, more than 2 charges, for basically being involved with computers that were the election machines. She didn't do anything wrong. She just did something that wasn't politically correct. She's investigating the crimes of election fraud. So they go after the lawyers. They go after anybody that they can, either civilly or criminally. That's part of their modus operandi. Don't stop our operation by telling anybody the truth about us.
And they publicly, back then and now, threaten any lawyers investigate fraud, we're going to disbar you and come after you.
Right, and that's getting to be more and more a threat in terms of especially the District of Columbia. So we know about, Ed Martin, who's one of the most ethical people I've ever known. I mean, they're going after him for nonsense. They're going after others. I don't want to name the people that I know that they're going after. But the point is, yes, they're going after the lawyers and they're going after anybody who's fighting this battle, because that's part of the way that they're fighting this war. Because they are dedicated to this cause. As much as we want to keep America, they want to destroy America. So let's just take a look at what these machines are, okay? It's the tabulators that count, okay? The tabulators, we know from Antrim County. What happened in Antrim County, Michigan, in the 2020 election, that's a very red county. And yet, Biden won by a big margin. So when people looked at it afterward, they were able to conclude that what actually happened by talking to voters, et cetera, they were able to figure out that the vote flipped. Those who voted for Biden, those votes went to Trump. Those who voted for Trump, those votes went to Biden. And there's a way, Mark Cook was able to show me, in fact, on a computer, how with their programs, thanks to, this is why Tina Peters is a hero, because it's not just that she got herself in a jam, it's that she was able to image the hard drive on the Dominion machines.
And they need her in prison so she can't testify.
They want her in prison for 3 reasons. They want her in prison so that it'll shut her up. They don't want her out there telling people the truth about these machines. Number 2, Jenna Griswold, who is the real criminal, the Secretary of State, she literally went to 62 different counties, or had people go to 62 counties, and wipe those those Dominion machines clean, contrary to federal law, where she could do a year for each one of those 62 years.
And then later, she published the codes to hack all the machines for the next election. But I'm digressing. I should have introduced you as Tina Peters' lawyer. We got to do a whole show on that. My God, solitary confinement killing her. This is insane.
Thank you. Yes, she needs to be released. Please, Governor Polis, do it quickly. And then thirdly, the reason they went after her was so that they could teach a lesson to all the other clerks in the country. Don't you dare do what Tina Peters did, because if you try to image your machine, or you try to save the evidence, or you even want to report the evidence,
Which, by the way, is her job to do that. They act like it's a crime for her documenting fraud.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop the forces of evil, if I may call it that.
No, they aren't.
From that's what they are, and from going after her, and they did. But those are the three reasons that they went after her, and the biggest one is the last one. They don't want anybody rocking the boat. They want to be able to cheat in the elections without anybody blowing the whistle. So, but we know from these machines, well, we know from Mark Cook that how easy it is to flip the vote, but the only way to flip the vote is to get into the machine. You need to be able to access it. And how do you do that? Well, Dominion Machine says you can't, because, and they use this term, air gapped. These machines are air gapped, is what they say, meaning how are you going to get it on the internet? Okay, it doesn't have a wire going into it. Well, we all know that you can have wireless to get into a computer, but that's not even the way they do it. It's that they have phone chips on the motherboard. Okay, and this is something that's been observed, photos taken, and so on. We've got the evidence of this. This isn't just some hypothesis or some theory.
No, they admit it. I mean, that's how OnStar works for 30 years. They have a phone chip in the car, and when you hit the button, it does the deal.
Yeah. In other words, your car is the equivalent of a cell phone, in that it has that chip that's able to then make a call. You don't need to plug your cell phone into the internet. You don't need a wire on it. You could say it's air gapped. What's the difference? It can make a call and receive a call. And that's what happened from that's what's been going on from these machines. And we know that in the one that was in Antrim County, that it called out at in the evening of November 3rd and in the early morning hours of November 4th of 2020. In other words, election night and the early morning.
Just like the Mars rover, it went back to NASA in Houston and said, "What's my orders?"
What's my orders? Thank you so much. That's perfect. That's exactly what's going on. So, so in other words, you now have a black box, basically. And why do I say it's a black box? Because it's got programming in it that was done by the Serbians for the Venezuelans. These are facts. These are things that I'm not, we have the witnesses from Venezuela that testified to this. Okay, so what we have, and so we know who did it, and we know Serbia. What is Serbia other than a satellite for China? So if you want to know how China has involvement, it's two ways we know it's involved. Number one is because it is Serbia. It owns Serbia.
Yeah, and why are our elections being run out of Serbia and Venezuela? Like, it should be a no-brainer they're run here. National security issue.
Also, we know that it's China's involvement because China made the chips, made the phone chips and other chips that are in these Dominion machines. But they didn't just make the chips, because anybody can make chips. That doesn't mean that they know about why they're making them, or they know they're doing it for a wrong purpose. They also label the chips, even though it should say made in the People's Republic of China, the PRC. But instead of that, it says it was manufactured in Taiwan, these chips. So they mask who made them, because we're not even allowed to have machines for our voting where any parts of them were made in China. So they knowingly were making these chips for those machines that are running our elections And in order to get them into our machines, they had to mislabel who manufactured them. That shows, if nothing else, that they knew exactly what they were doing. It was intentional.
And then we have the FBI protecting it, and the Democrats, from my intel, I'm going to get your take on this 35,000-foot view. They know they're losing in the 90s. Everybody's turning against the left. Go deal with China, Democrat Party, fence it through Taiwan, into Venezuela, who owns the company that runs 3 major voting machine companies at least. And then now you've got the back door into it, and the DOJ never prosecutes it, and now you've got your coup. But I wouldn't even say China's the top of it. I'd say it runs to the Democratic Party, deep state, into China, through Taiwan, through Venezuela, to us.
Right, except the Democratic Party isn't really Democrats anymore. It's globalists. Okay, it's the World Economic Forum. It's China.
Exactly. So it's a globalist China, New World Order, UN uniparty.
Yes, they're not Democrats. Okay, they took over that party and they decimated it. And some of the people that are still there that were Democrats, I don't know whether they just they.
Well, you can see it. They're all America-hating, wild-eyed political suicide bombers. They're going to take the country down.
That's what I like about you so much, is that you see it, and you're out there letting people know. So the point is that you've got this programming that nobody is allowed to look at. We're not allowed to examine that programming because the courts all say it's trade secrets. And it makes sense. I mean, it's pursuant to law. It's not a bunch of crooked judges. It's trade secrets. So because these are trade secrets, nobody knows what these machines do. We don't know what that programming does. We're not allowed to look at that program, even though we're involved with lawsuits where people's lives are, either going to spend their important years of their lives in prison, and we can't even look at the programming. But so we've got a black box that has phone chips in it. What we now know is that the election we've had 3 states. We've had Texas, Arkansas, and North Carolina, where we had primaries last week. And there's a fellow, what's his name, Martinez. I'll think of his first name. I keep forgetting his first name, but anyway, he was running in Bexar County. It's called Bexar County, but it's spelled B-E-X-A-R. Don't ask me why they don't pronounce the X, but anyway, that's what it is. In Bexar County, he was running for election, and he asked for a list of the people that had voted, which you're entitled to. There's nothing wrong with getting it. They gave it to him. And the list had all the duplicates on it. Okay. We have a smoking gun.
Wow.
That the machines are in play. And this is why this is so important. In fact, in Bexar County now, the candidate that won the primary for the Republicans is a left-winger who's totally woke and in favor of DEI. I mean, that's what we got there. So they put their candidate into our party to be our candidate.
Total Trojan horse operation. Again, you have the list showing the multiple names being duplicated, stealing the election. Incredible. So let me ask you this. We're going to break and give you the floor and come back. This is all coming out, though, in the court of public opinion. What is the establishment? What is the globalist Chi-Com New World Order Party doing? They've got to be concerned right now.
When we come back, I'm going to tell you what the Democrats have planned. And that's the scariest part.
They're planning to impeach Trump, aren't they?
They want to impeach both Trump and J.D. Vance at the same time, which they can do. And it'd probably be for something crazy like murdering that person who's trying to run over an ICE officer, whatever it is. They'll accuse them of whatever. It doesn't matter. If they've got the majority in the House, they can impeach. It's all political. Nothing has to be true. And then it goes to the Senate. And if there are 22 Republican senators that are up for re-election right now. If they steal 18 of those and flip 18 of those, they're going to have the 2/3 of the Senate that they need to be able, and they don't even need that many because they've got some rhinos that would just as soon do horrible things.
And we have a DOJ that won't prosecute, so what do? You're examining the weak spot, how they're going to attack. Peter Tick's when we come back. The enemy's plan just in a few months in November. We'll be right back with Peter Tick, and stay with us. This is so important. So, CIA declassified documents last week. Operation Artichoke to poison vaccines, food supply, and the water to dumb us down and make us controllable. Now new documents about ESP control, how we're really electrochemical systems, liquid crystals, and the pineal gland, and how most people have microscopic to actual large worm infestations, not just from cats, you name it, like Kennedy has one in his brain, and they didn't tell the public most cancer, breast cancer, brain cancer is worms. Now, this is all over the place. Joe Rogan talks about it, I have for years. But here it is, scientists and doctors figuring out now, the CIA knew in '62 that dewormers could reverse most cancers and didn't tell the public. That's mass murder. Here it is.
My parasite medications work against cancer cells, and it turns out that the parasites use mitochondrial substrate level phosphorylation in the tissue. And these embendazole, fenbendazole kill these parasites. So I tried it on the cancer cell, and sure as hell, it targets the mitochondrial substrate and glycolysis. So we have a mechanism now why parasite medications are working. But cancer is not a parasite. All these people say, oh, cancer is a parasite. It's not a parasite. Parasites and tumors use a common metabolic pathway, and a drug that works against parasites can be very effective against cancer. And that's what we begin to see, especially under nutritional ketosis.
So to be clear, the anti-parasite drugs cut off the same mechanism in cancer, but we now know and have known that a lot of cancers from parasites, it's double good. And I don't sell that, but you can buy it online. And my medical doctor told me years ago, take this once a year as a regimen. I do. That's important information you might want to write down, folks, okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you can look it up. Go to the UN's own website. They admit it. Over 2 billion people have cognitive disabilities because they do not have enough iodine. In the 20s, they found this. How they put in the salt, IQs went up about 20 points on average, 15, 20 points. Well, we have the very best atomic iodine in the world. Has been available in several years, ladies and gentlemen. But we have the original X2 back, but even stronger, pure atomic. Atomic isn't radioactive. It means it's on the periodic table. It is absolutely pure. And I mixed that with ultra methylene blue that is also on record good for your pineal gland and reversing the calcification, the rest of it. Your Doc Chambers on, medical doctor, special forces colonel, Army colonel. And I said, what do you think methylene blue? He goes, oh, I've been on this since 2004. When I got blown up in Iraq, I had brain damage because it blew away the sheath that's on my nerves. So I did research and found out that they had studies going back over 100 years on methylene blue, helping regrow the sheaths on your nerves and all the rest of it. Well, we've got the best methylene blue, and I just mixed the iodine with the methylene blue with this water. I'm going to drink this, and this is pure rocket fuel. So good for your body. Essential iodine with methylene blue together is amazing. Pretty scary looking, too. So, by the way, the new product exclusively available right now at thealexjonesstore.com is T3. It's X2 back even better at thealexjonesstore.com. So for all the fans that wanted it, everybody that wanted to get it, we have had it for over a year. It is back, reborn, like the Phoenix, even stronger, exclusively available through our sponsor, thealexjonesstore.com. But regardless, our methylene blue, our iodine is the best, and it does so many other things: libido, stamina, energy. It skips the oxidation process in the cells. The methylene blue and iodine works very similarly, and they go together like a horse and carriage. Get them both now. There's also another big sale as well at thealexjonesstore.com, and I thank you for your support.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones. Waging war on corruption, it's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the info war.
confidant since high school, Peter Tickton, spearheading the private investigation of election fraud. The time we've got, I've asked a lot of questions. I really want to shut up and just give me the floor to go through all this. Their move, their plan, their desperation, the elections we've seen since, massive evidence of fraud, what they're openly gearing up for, and then how we counter them. So I'm going to try to turn my mic off. You're hosting right now. Give us the briefing, sir.
Okay, well, let me just finish in terms of what their plan is. This is why it's pivotal. If they're able to impeach both Donald Trump and Vance at the same time, that means that the Speaker of the House will become the president. And once the House gets a majority that's Democrat, then Joaquin Jeffries will be the Speaker of the House. And so what we're looking at, according to what their plan is, and I'm sure you've heard it. I mean, we've all been hearing the Democrats for the last 6 months saying we're not worried about Donald Trump because in 2 years he'll be gone. I mean, that's what they've been saying since he got elected. And what they're talking about is not something physical, hopefully, but what they're talking about is that they intend to take the midterm elections with such force that they'll be able to remove in the Senate. So what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, is not just imaginary and not just something that to be fearful about, but it's something that they're planning. Because if they're able to get rid of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance at the same time, which they can do, then Joaquin Jeffries is going to be the president of the United States, and then it's all gone. Then it's lost. Then we'll never get it back. We were able to get it back in 2024 because the data center in Belgrade, Serbia, that was what was basically controlling and operating what was happening with the machines, was overheated intentionally by certain great Americans. And that brought that center down to its knees. That could happen only once because these people never make the same mistake twice. And they're not going to ever let us know where they're operating from, which data center where is in charge of this thing, number one. Number two, even if we know and could destroy it, they've got redundancy now. They will never make the same mistake twice. And so we don't have the ability that we had in 2024 to just dismantle it or cripple it. It's going to go on without control. It's not as though we can have jamming sessions where we can jam the phone frequency waves in every place where there's elections. The only way that we can really do this is by changing it altogether, where we get rid of the machines. That's what's required. And we don't even need anything that says get rid of the machines. We don't care if there are machines, as long as there's hand counting of the ballots in public. That's what we're advocating for. That's what we're pushing for. But the president has a problem. He can't declare an emergency unless there's one that's perceived. You can't have a governor of a state declare an emergency for a storm that nobody can see. It's the same thing here. So this is why it's urgent for me to be able to get on your show and some other shows and help spread the word. But this is a word that I need everyone who's listening to spread. We need to make this a public awareness. We need people in the public to understand that this is real. This isn't imaginary. These are computers. These are tabulators that we've been able to see. Our experts have been able to examine them. And we know that they have these phone chips. And the question really boils down to, well, what would you rather have? A black box with a phone in it that controls it, or your own eyes being able to verify that things are right? So if it's hand counted in public, no doubt under cameras, there'll be videos being able to show exactly, it could stream even, showing exactly how the vote is getting tallied. And somebody could always go through these things later to see whether or not they were mistakes or whatever, but that's the easiest and best way to do it. And the only way that will have transparency. That's all we're asking for. Now, we know that people try to play with the numbers in different kinds of ways. We know that when the Republicans control a state, we know that they gerrymander to help and help the Republicans. We know when Democrats are in control of a state, they gerrymander, and it helps the Democrats. What we're asking for in terms of hand-counted ballots in public, we're not asking for either side to have any benefit. This doesn't benefit anybody improperly. It benefits both equally.
And as you know, France can do an election in one day. It's very provably safe and it's accurate. This is the way to do it.
Right, this is the way to do it. If we do it this way and the Democrats should happen to win, well, you know what? Nobody's going to be saying that, well, they cheated, they had the machines going on. But when you have a black box that's counting this, that could be controlled by its programming and phone chips, then nobody can possibly have faith that we had a safe and secure election.
And by the way, I've seen these demonstrations hundreds of times the last 30 years, 100 times the last year. Students come in, people have voting machines. They instantly all hack them because they've all got chips built into them as phones. They lie about it. They have courts ruling against Mike Lindell, defaulting him, saying, no, this computer, this machine can't get on the internet, even though you can prove it. It's admitted. In fact, let me ask you this question. Why are the Democrats suddenly running around everywhere saying, prominent ones, top ones in the Congress, Trump is going to steal the 2026, or he's going to suspend the election? But the more and more they're saying, no, he's going to steal it through the machines. What are they thinking there?
Well, I'll tell you something. If he does an investigation right now with the evidence that we've got in terms of what happened in the primaries in Texas, Arkansas, and
let's
North
start
Carolina,
over. You mentioned that, but let's get into, because I talked to locals, I've seen on the news all sorts of chicanery for the Democrats. What are you witnessing? What happened in Texas, Arkansas, and other states?
Well, in Texas, and that's what I was saying, in Bexar County, we actually have the lists of the voters from the first day of the primaries where they didn't scrub it yet. They didn't change it yet. We got the same.
So what do we do with that smoking gun? What is Abbott going to do? What is outgoing Paxton going to do? What is Pam Bondi going to do?
Well, Pam Bondi, I don't doubt. I have no reason to doubt Pam Bondi's allegiance. I don't doubt that she loves America. I don't doubt that she loves Donald Trump. But I doubt that she's forceful enough to overcome the, Todd Blanche, who basically, is in charge.
Well, that's what I'm told. Bondi's not bad. She's just, typically she just cares about her hair and is, at the salon.
Well, I think that's what happened. I think she came into an agency that's got 115,000 employees, an agency that has 40 agencies within it, including the FBI, the number of agencies like the FBI, the Bureau of Prisons, et cetera, et cetera. She comes and she looks at this thing, and he says, look, you're the CEO, the equivalent of the CEO. I'm the COO. I have to operate the whole thing. Don't you worry about a thing, dearie. I'll take care of it all. You just stay in your house in Florida. Fly up when you need to have a press, photo op, or when the president wants you to be there. You'll have your own jet and your own pilot, so you'll be able to do that anytime you want. And don't even worry about speeches. We've got speech writers. We've got everything. We'll take care of everything for you. So he basically, knocks her out. She's not in there running it.
So what do we do about Todd Blanche, who we know is super bad news?
I think someday the president's going to realize that this guy didn't even believe he was innocent when he did his trial, and that's why he did such a lousy job for the president. I'll tell you something. As a lawyer, as a trial lawyer, that's what I still do. I had a trial earlier this week. I had another one 2 weeks ago. I mean, I'm busy with trials. And when you're a trial lawyer, it's something different for your client. And your client basically has the adventure that they're going through with the lawyer, and there's a bonding that occurs. And I think that's what happened. That's why Donald Trump trusts Todd Blanche. But this is a mistake. Todd Blanche is not what Donald Trump thinks that he is. And so I think Donald Trump is much more aware of things, though, than people may realize. I think we have to trust him to use his judgment as to the best timing to make whatever changes he perceives are going to be necessary. And I can see reasons why it's better just to keep it right now the way it is until a little bit later down the road when the timing will be much more easy to transition things. So, look, I trust Donald Trump. I know Donald
here's
Trump
the
so
deal.
well.
I like Trump too, but I need him to succeed. These very same people have been trying to throw me in prison, and so if I need tough love, I'll do it as well. But shifting back to the larger issue here, we take hours, obviously, you know more than I do about it, but incredible fraud the last special elections, this primary. I mean, they are right back to their old tricks again. And like you said, they said in 2020, Trump will not be president, and they did it. Trump has to know they are reorganized now. And I know he's trying, I talk to people that have been in the cabinet meetings, he wants this front and center. He wants action. What action should we be demanding from the White House, from the DOJ?
Well, one of the things we're going to see, we don't even need to demand it, it's coming. I can assure you it's coming, is Maduro. Maduro is going to sing like a canary. And that's because he's got two choices, Supermax or not Supermax. Okay? I mean, Supermax is hell. He doesn't want to spend the rest of his life in a prison where he doesn't get to see anybody all day long and he is going out of his mind. That's not exactly a great idea for him. He's going to let us know what he knows, and he knows an awful lot.
The question is, who's doing the interrogation?
I don't know. I don't know, but I understand that these things are coming about. That this will come about. Okay, and I don't actually.
And is
know
that what I was told? That's one of the main reasons for the raid on Venezuela was to get that information.
You can't go wrong when you go and you get the guy that's leading up a cartel that's trafficking in cocaine, fentanyl, and election results. They are providing the election results to 72 different countries. And look at what's going on in the rest of the world. We're the only ones left. I mean, in the United Kingdom, there's 30 to 50 people a day that are being arrested for what they say on social media or in their own tweets. Not their own tweets, their own texts, I mean. It's a private text. You send a private text to somebody that says you don't like Islamists, and the next thing you know, there's people coming to your door and taking you away.
So you go to O'Reilly Auto Parts to get auto parts. You go to Venezuela to fix your election.
Venezuela was shipping out those results to 72 countries, of which the United States is just one of them. And look at the world now. Canada, you can't criticize your government without running the risk of going to prison. The same thing with Australia is gone. Europe is gone. We're the only place left.
It really is scary how fast tyranny's coming in.
Isn't it? But, the fact is, this is the pivotal issue right now for us. This is the one thing. The midterms are everything to us right now. If we don't grab this thing and make sure that we have hand-counted in public ballots. I mean, right now we have paper ballots already. That's the easy part because it's already there. What we need, the only thing I'm saying is we need to make sure they're hand-counted, get rid of the machines.
Absolutely. Well, here's my story.
Let me ask you something.
Sure, go ahead.
Let me ask you something. Let me put this to another way as well. Let's just say that you're on a 2-lane road and you're doing 70 miles an hour in your one lane, right? And there's another lane, the other lane is coming in the opposite direction. And you're separated by just 2 painted yellow lines on the road, right? And then you get a phone call from somebody you trust and they're telling you the truth, and you find out that your hostile, crazy ex-wife has been able to access your car and she has been able to access the computer in your car and can take over the steering anytime she wants. Is that an emergency?
It's a total emergency. You're going to get that computer removed from your car.
Right, or you're going to pull over right away. You're not going to take a chance that she's going to steer you into opposing traffic. So it's an emergency. We have that emergency now. And the president has the power under the National Emergencies Act to dictate how the elections will be conducted. He doesn't have the power generally. He can't just decide, I'm going to make an order and I'm going to require.
And by the way,
hand
start
counting.
over. This is so important. I should have started with this. They keep saying Trump should declare an emergency and cancel the election because I know he's been looking at this, which is just standardized to protect the election. He has executive power. They've been pre-demonizing this because they're so scared of it. Start over and explain this.
Okay. All right. Let's just say China started to come over to the United States to take over power in the United States, and they're shooting guns. They're shooting bullets at us. Obviously, that would be an emergency, and obviously the president doesn't need anybody's permission to start doing whatever is necessary to do to make sure that we don't become defeated. Right now, China's doing the same thing, except they're not using bullets. They're doing it surreptitiously through voting machines. They're taking over our country. So this is the same kind of an emergency. You don't need bullets necessarily. Bullets aren't a necessary factor to have an emergency. There's all kinds of emergencies. There's
Well,
no
it's even
bullets when you
worse
have a
because
hurricane.
it's stealth and it's now confirmed.
It's confirmed. We know for a fact. This is no longer a theory. I mean, it's always been an understanding that there was a high probability that this would happen. But now that we have Martinez's, I'm sorry, his first name is Weston Martinez's documents that he got from the county that basically gave him the list. And by the way, he got the same list the next day, but it was all doctored. The next day, it was a different number. The voters were different. But the first day, they hadn't fixed it yet. They gave him the list with the modified duplicates on it.
Incredible.
Those are the people that voted. So, it's in play.
And that's in San Antonio, Texas. I saw that. This is smoking gun. Just like you said 5 years ago, with the evidence you already had. They create duplicates of real people, then they can vote as much as they want with that person. We found that in Michigan as well, all over. And now this candidate gets it. They're lazy. Give him the actual list that they ran in the computer according to law, and it's the proof of this.
Yes, because they didn't doctor it yet.
It's even
but the
better
next day it was
that
doctored.
they then gave him a doctored one. That's even better, isn't it?
Well, the fact that they gave him both. The day one, they hadn't doctored it yet. Day two, they gave him the doctored one. And this does not require the involvement of all kinds of people. The people in San Antonio probably don't have a clue that this even happened. This is all being done and run by foreign nationals out of this country.
Well, that's how technocracy
works.
works. That's how technocracy works.
That's how it works.
Is everybody's so wow, man? What do? We get this to Trump. We get it to the public. But if Todd Blanche is there, if Todd Blanche is there, he's going to kill the investigation. I guess we have Texas. Texas has to do it.
Well, I don't think it necessarily has to be Todd Blanche. This is something that's outside. It can also be considered to be outside the Department of Justice.
Texas has to do it.
This could be considered a military issue. This could be considered this could go under Tulsi Gabbard. This could go. It doesn't have to be under the DOJ. I don't trust anything under the DOJ these days.
Wow. In closing, sir, we got about 4 minutes to break. Come back soon. We need updates on this. What else do you want to impart to people with your great work you're doing?
These days, what days did you trust the DOJ? That's what I want to know.
In the whole election wheelhouse, if we have, look, we're going to win easily. Look, we are the silent majority by far. If you look at, take a look at not this year's, but last year's State of the Union address by Donald Trump.
I wonder, did he trust the DOJ during Obama's time?
6%. If you don't like Donald Trump, you don't like anything he does, and you don't like his speech, and you're never going to approve his speech. 69% approved the speech. That means that we have a much larger part of the public. We have much larger part of the population than the loud minority does. The loud minority is like a nothing burger in comparison. They're just very, very loud and very effective. They have all the money in the world as well. So that's what we have to face.
But the big dog, the American people have to get off the porch.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But you're right. If they lose this midterm, it's over for them. So they're going to throw everything they've got right now.
Yes, this is the pivotal time. This is more pivotal than 2028 could ever be. This is it. This is what their plan is. This is where they plan to take over America. And look what they're going to do to it once they take it over. Look what they did last time. Open the borders. When did that ever become a good idea? I mean, it's insanity if it's somebody that's trying to help America, and it's perfectly logical if it's somebody that's trying to destroy America.
Well, notice Democrats now don't even deny they want illegal aliens to vote, that they are. Suddenly they're like, oh, we got to, in Congress, we've got to have our illegals vote. Well, the best thing about Trump is he has unmasked them. They are out in the open now.
Yeah. No, Trump is, something, as a student with him in high school, we competed. We were in the same class. We were friends. We were in the same company. I mean, he was my captain. I was a platoon sergeant underneath him. And I always knew that he was smart. I knew he was really smart because, he was near the top of his class. And there was never a question about that. But I'll tell you, I didn't know he was this smart. I didn't know that he was able to do the things he's able to do now. I mean, economically, world, in terms of controlling what needs to be controlled and not just trying to be a polite fool. He's really the most amazing president we've ever had.
He is amazing. I just hope this Iran thing isn't hope we didn't get trapped by it.
No, don't worry. He's not going to let that happen. He's not. I'm telling you, he's smart enough to not let that happen.
Well, he's already trying to get out of it, and they're trying to keep him in it.
I know, but he gets to do what he wants to do. He'll get out of it. He'll find.
He didn't get to do it last time.
Draw on somebody. You've got your gun on somebody that's about to pick up a gun. When do you shoot him? When he goes for it?
No, the guy that wins goes
hand,
first.
He's halfway up, or after he's already aiming it at you. You shoot him when he goes for it. That's what you do. And they were going for nuclear. They were going to nuclear to be able to nuke us.
Oh, there's no doubt
we
they were.
needed to
There's
do
no
this
doubt.
before then.
My issue is I don't trust the intelligence agencies not to sabotage it. Well,
They
we'll
already
see.
had
I just hope it is
nuclear.
quickly. Peter Tickton, people can find you. Where's the? We've got your law firm, legalbrains.com. Where's the best place for people to find your political news?
Well, if you just go to legalbrains.com, you'll find it. We'll make sure that it's available there, where to find us on social media. And so
All right, well, you were on 6 months ago. We got to get you back up sooner, maybe in the next few weeks, to give us an update, sir, because you're right. This is everything you said is documented. You're at the tip of the spear. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you, too.
All right, folks. Fourth hour coming up. Huge news. Just absolutely insane. And as much as I get mad at Trump for, going sideways, compared to the Democrats, it's night and day. I want Trump to succeed, and he needs to succeed. And these Democrats, they are engaged in fraud. They have been caught. They are pissed off because they know we're onto their ass now. All right. Huge amounts of news, special guests, and more. Fourth hour straight ahead. Please stay with us. Our incredible iodine, the best in the world, back in stock. DallasStore.com. So, CIA declassified documents last week. Operation Artichoke to poison vaccines, food supply, and the water to dumb us down and make us controllable. Now new documents about ESP control, how we're really electrochemical systems, liquid crystals, and the pineal gland, and how most people have microscopic to actual large worm infestations, not just from cats, you name it, like Kennedy has one in his brain, and they didn't tell the public most cancer, breast cancer, brain cancer is worms. Ladies and gentlemen, you can look it up. Go to the UN's own website. They admit it. Over 2 billion people have cognitive disabilities because they do not have enough iodine. In the 20s, they found this. That's where they put in the salt. IQs went up about 20 points on average, 15, 20 points. Well, we have the very best atomic iodine in the world. Has been available in several years, ladies and gentlemen. But we have the original X2 back, but even stronger. pure atomic. Atomic isn't radioactive. It means it's on the periodic table. It is absolutely pure. And I mixed that with ultra methylene blue that is also on record good for your pineal gland and reversing the calcification, the rest of it. Well, we've got the best methylene blue, and I just mixed the iodine with the methylene blue with this water. I'm going to drink this, and this is pure rocket fuel. So good for your body. Essential iodine with methylene blue together is amazing. Pretty scary looking, too. So, by the way, the new product exclusively available right now at thealexjonesstore.com is T3. It's X2 back even better at thealexjonesstore.com. So for all the fans that wanted it, everybody that wanted to get it, we have had it for over a year. It is back, reborn like the Phoenix, even stronger, exclusively available through our sponsor, thealexjonesstore.com. But regardless, our methylene blue, our iodine is the best, and it does so many other things: libido, stamina, energy, and they go together like a horse and carriage. Get them both now. There's also another big sale as well at thealexjonesstore.com, and I thank you for your support.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies
I got
of
this
the
stuff.
New World Order. It's Alex
Survival
Jones.
Shield X2. You put like one drop in a bottle of water.
Ghost riders in the sky. An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day. Upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way.
The host of Making Sense of the Madness, Jason Burmis, old-time InfoWars colleague, will be taking over in this hour ahead of Harrison Smith. Coming up in 1 hour with the War Room. And I'm going to obviously file a bunch of special reports like I did last night. There's a lot I didn't get to, a lot breaking. Very crazy time to be alive right now.
Survival Shield X2.
Iran hinting they got nuclear weapons. I mean, this is bonkers. But let me do this, because we won't be here if I don't do this. I plugged one time at the end of the first hour, a little bit at the end of the last hour, like 10 seconds. That won't pay the bills. Because when I don't plug, you don't buy. When I talk to you, you do. Listen, the products are insanely good. All you got to do is say, hey, I want to support that guy and their crew. They've been through a lot. They do a great job. Let me see how good these are. Our bovine colostrum, our Shilajit, our methylene blue, our Irish sea moss. It's all incredible. But a product that we put out like 13, 14 years ago when nobody else did it, True Atomic Iodine, X2 has not been available in the last year. Well, we went to the same lab, made it even stronger and better. It's T3. When you upgrade something, you just change the name. We call it Plus, but I don't call it Plus X2. So it's T3, ladies and gentlemen. Like there's X1, X2, X3, like with fighter jets is why I made these names.
That's what I got, the X2.
It's the missing link in your body. It's essential, just like oxygen, you die in 4 minutes, without water 4 days, without food about 30 days.
But Alex puts like a whole dropper in a glass of water. You're not supposed to do that. One drop in a bottle per day. One drop per bottle per day.
For VIP members at thealexjonesstore.com, everybody else 25% off. And it's a limited run. More comes in less than a month or about a month. But this will be sold out at current sales rates by like next Thursday. Get your T3 now. And if you don't want it to sell out, become a subscriber. Lock in 50% off in the future when you're a subscriber. And they hold back bottles for you. You get it each month. Cancel anytime for free. So you'll get benefits from being a subscriber or a VIP member. You're a VIP member at thealexjonesstore.com with all the supplements, all the Patriot apparel, the knives, the collectible stuff, all the cool things. $30 a month, cancel anytime. You instantly get $40 to spend each month. So if you buy anything, you should be a VIP. And you get special deals, special offers, special sales on everything. So anybody buying anything, thealexjonesstore.com should be a VIP. And I'd say commit to the show, be a VIP, get better deals. It's not a commitment, cancel anytime for free. It's in your profile. From the date you sign up as VIP each month, it rolls over and charges you again. Anytime before that, cancel. It's not even a commitment, except I know I'm just like you. I always get healthier when about once a year, I forgot for months to take my supplements. How did I do that? Oh, my wife took the Lazy Susan off the middle of the table. I get it. or I put it in my bathroom. I remember, I get it all ready. I feel great, and then I forget. It's the same thing. Become a VIP. That way it's just recurring every month. You want to cancel, you do it. But the thing is, you don't forget to reorder because you get those $40 credit each month and special deals, special offers in your profile at thealexjonesstore.com. And that's what funds this operation. And the big final coup de grace is here. We've survived so much, people think it's Chicken Little or Boy Who Cried Wolf. Even though it's all in court records, the raids, the fake auctions, the shutdowns, everything. The state receivers not allowing us to pay for internet, power, any of it. And it all starts turning off early next month, so we're guessing we can go to the 15th. The crew's like, what's the thing? I'm like, the InfoWars might shut off like in like 20 days or something. I mean, and again, I can't own anything. I can't run this. But the Alex Jones Network is owned by Bigley. We already got a backup studio built, bigger one getting built. That's why also going to thealexjonesstore.com helps fund the future. It's so important to continue this work. The products are amazing. Go now to thealexjonesstore.com and be the reason we stay on the air. Because they can take the name InfoWars and website. That means nothing. The Alex Jones Network should be even stronger. And like Obi-Wan Kenobi says, you can't win. You strike me down, and we're more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Introducing Ultra DNA Revival, the advanced daily supplement designed to help you feel and perform at your absolute best, starting at the cellular level. Backed by cutting-edge mitochondrial and DNA support science, Ultra DNA Revival delivers noticeable all-day energy without stimulants or crashes, faster recovery and greater endurance, sharper focus and mental clarity, support for healthy blood sugar levels, stronger immune system function, enhanced liver health and natural detoxification, reduces everyday stress and anxiety, protection against oxidative stress and the visible signs of aging. And again, this is a private label of an already best-selling brand that found this. Thousands of customers report feeling the difference in as little as 7 to 14 days. Right now, take advantage of our best pricing ever. VIP members, $34.95. Regular, $59.59. Save over 40% with a VIP membership for $30 a month.
Call FBI.
What's he calling FBI about? Oh, someone in his chat is probably saying, I know who took Nancy Guthrie.
They put you on hold for a very long time. But we shall see. 1-800.
Oh, he's reporting the pants that he found.
FBI.
They found some pants.
Thank you for calling the FBI. To continue this call in English,
Jason
press
Bermas
1.
is on.
For Spanish, press 2. For
We're
any
going to
other
ask you for all types of personal.
They're co-conspirators on ketamine, prostitution, and beyond. I warned people from the very beginning, when you have this type of solicitation, control, weapons dealing, again, Epstein was an arms dealer. You also have drugs. So we're going to be talking about that at length. We're going to be making some Leslie Wexner revelations that come from the Virginia.
Ketamine isn't drugs.
Ran, but I really wanted to start it off talking about Alex himself.
Ketamine is 100% legal.
I was able to actually interview somebody. I always tell people, don't have heroes. Be your own hero. Be able to look at yourself in the mirror every day and know that you're the person who controls your destiny and trying to make the world a better place through your actions. However, I've always admired people. I admire Alex Jones. We're going to get into that in a moment. But I got to interview a guy named Rob Ager. And he did this video many, many years ago called The Meaning of the Monolith. Big Kubrick fan. Alex is now friends with Kubrick's daughter. And I remember sitting down in those InfoWars offices, fresh offices, by the way. It was only like a summer before that I was at a totally different location. And the pure force, the presence of Alex Jones manifested this, what was unprecedented in alternative media at that time. I mean, no competitors, no one even in the realm of what he had done with what I became aware of post 9/11 in like 2002, that at the time, before You know, there was even a prisonplanet.tv. It was almost like a blog site. In fact, it was just like Alex Jones was doing internet radio before podcasting was a thing. Okay, he also was doing independent media before blogs and even vlogs were a thing. I mean,
He's just glazing Alex. Let's see. He's still on hold.
Phone number is 20.
Thanks for all the support, you guys. I appreciate it.
They're telling you to spell your name, address, operator. Operator. This is hard to do online because they're telling your address, your social security number. Operator.
You gotta say, I need to speak to a human.
Dealer's making the call, you guys.
Please spell your. I need you to mute. If you can mute. No, not mute.
Just stop talking.
It just keeps asking for address.
They say there's a backpack back there. I'll be right back.
Okay. I think it's better to call the sheriff. This is a waste of time, personally.
Can't you get on FBI.gov and just leave a tip? Let's see.
Sheriff would respond like they did to the barrel, but everyone's saying, I'm majority rules. We were like, all the FBI, all the FBI.
He was listening to his chat. Now he got sucked into it. Hit the faucets.
I hung up on the FBI. I'm calling Pima County Sheriff's.
He gave up on the FBI.
It's too complicated to call them. And then you're on hold forever. People have already expressed that. Sometimes you're on hold for 20, 30 minutes. It's easier just to call the sheriff. We need one agency. We gotta keep it moving.
20 or 30 minutes.
If this is an emergency or you are reporting an incident, please hang up and dial 911. Information is always available on our website at www.sheriff.org. Para español, oprime el número 8. For non-emergency response, press 1. For criminal investigations.
How can I help you? Hello, I am covering the Nancy Guthrie case, and out there with Searcher myself, at the corner of Los Alamos and Terrano, T-E-R-N-E-R-O. There's like a wash in a basin, and people I was with found a pair of pants, some bedding, and a knee brace, and a lot of people are recommending that we call and report that into all of you.
So you said it was pants, knee brace, and what else?
And it looks like some sort of bedspread, and it's in the wash basin at Los Alamos and Ternero, T-E-R-N-E-R-O Street. It would be on the east side of Ternero, just before Los Alamos, and there's like a wash basin in there, and it's right in the middle of the basin, so if like your deputies came out, you would see it there, all in the general area there.
So are you wanting to report this in?
Yeah, I'm just suspicious, maybe it's related to the Nancy Guthrie case, could be the perp, could be victim, could be something, and just people feel like it's odd and unusual that this
tips.fbi.gov
bedspread and a knee brace is there.
Okay, I'll go ahead and jot that down.
He
All
found like
right.
a homeless
See something?
person's
My name's Jonathan.
discarded shit.
Last name Riches, Riches. It's like you see something, say something. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
Was that J-O-Chen or
Jona. Jona. Ghan. Yeah.
You're the 202-666?
Yo, yeah. The number. No, I'm actually on the live stream. I didn't want to say my number on live.
The cop doxed him.
Yeah, I didn't want to give my number out.
Skull Spotter, what up?
Other people are listening, so I don't want my number. You started reading, I'm like, whoa. Probably get prank calls now, you know.
Looks like I got all of that in there. Is there anything else?
No, you know, hopefully she's found safe. You guys can find her, and we're praying that you guys find her.
We did too. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You have a very good day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, there you go. We reported it. He knows the locations right there. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe they come out. Maybe they don't. I mean, Jake was called about a barrel, and they went out there and looked at the barrel. We'll see. I'm out of water. Hey, I don't like calling the FBI. The reason why I don't like calling the FBI is literally they're very intrusive about who you are, and I have no problem with that. But they're asking you date of birth, social, address, phone number, everything like that. Then they connect you to someone, but a lot of times what I'm told, and I've given tips to the FBI all the time, but you're literally waiting on hold for 20 or 30 minutes just to get an operator. And then the operator is going through this whole process and everything like that. And before you know it, it takes 45 minutes to give a tip. I think they have to streamline that more better. I'm not a fan of calling the FBI. So if you got parallel investigations, I would say go local. And then I know some people in the chat are like, call FBI over the sheriff because they don't like the sheriffs, whatever like that. But this is the sheriff's jurisdiction, and it seems like the sheriff's in this particular case has come out on things, right? The girls up the other day that found the backpack up there with the big lots when they met at the big lots.
Skull Spotter, what you got going on here, bro?
Different things. So it just seems like
I gotta see this.
The sheriffs, you know, they might come and get it, they might not. So we'll see. If you see something, say something, my friends. Now the grave is a dog grave. I mean, you would think, but
I gotta see this Skull Spotter shit. It's just heavy duty, bro. What do we got here? The Monster of Frankenstein. Strip books. What's this? Movavi AI. The top richest famous celebs. Netanyahu. What the fuck is this? It's amazing. Even the females have female skulls. You saying everybody's a female? Okay. I don't get it, but say so. Wow, man. Even the females have female skulls. I never would have imagined that. Female skull on a female? Bruno Mars, I believe. Taylor Swift has a female skull? Nah. Ooh, unless. Huh. Ed Sheeran, I believe, too. But maybe, just maybe, Skull Spotter is trying to tell us something else. Not so much that they'll have female skull, but female just happens to be a trait of whatever else they also are besides just female. You know what I mean? I think that's what he's trying to tell us. Alright, so this is weird. Skeleton check. Female skull. Skull Spotter, do me. Do the skull thing. Wait. Let me do it. I'm gonna do it. New. How do I do this? Okay, here we go. Do new window. Window. And it'll be the MS Paint. We'll do a so we'll just do this. Filter, color correction, and opacity. Do it like that. Yeah. Okay. Now we're talking. Aha. Okay. Now, how would I even do that? Go like this. Draw it with the red line. And just go like this. How though? Oh. It's not even showing up. So you can't do. You can't do freaking. I guess I have to bring it into the browser. see the cursor, but nothing shows up. That's disappointing. I've never tried to do that. There's a window capture. I'll try something else. Delete that. Huh. How else? Take a snapshot. Oh, and draw over the snapshot. Derp. Screenshot. Alright, so I'm going to save that. I'm going to use that as my screenshot. While we're watching this. And I'm going to go see what else he's got. Oh, 9 presidents have skulls. Malawi. Oh god. The real Frankenstein. Female skull. Let me guess. Joe Biden also has a female skull. Yeah, but I just don't understand the point. Skull spotter. Gonna follow you. Because it's weird. People in the Olympics also have skulls. Malawi. Female skull, female skull. What the fuck? Alright, so I'm going back to my original theory that female just happens to be an attribute. It's not the point that they're female skulls. It's the point that female just happens to be an attribute of whatever they are, whatever else they are. Female skull. The ironic part is that the females also have female skulls. So, hair implants. Why? Why hair implants? Why do they all have hair implants? Doesn't even line up. Alright. Alright. Oh, the best is the comments. You know what? I think it's worth following Skull Spotter just because of the comments. Thank you, I'm here tonight. Hey, what up, Skull Spotter? I'm gonna go through your videos just to look at the comments. You're right, they play childish with your mind your whole life. That's great. I love that comeback, Skull Spotter. That's awesome. Oh, shit. Someone gave it a thumbs down. I'm gonna give everything thumbs up just because. What else? Let's see what else has comments. The Real Frankenstein series. 71 views! People want to know, man. Oh, is this live? Are you streaming, bro? Bro's streaming. You don't know how long I've been waiting for someone to pull this white rabbit out of their hat for me. Thank you. Yeah, he's streaming. It's just a blue screen, but he's streaming. Let's go see the comments. Let's go. Dimitri questions. Oh, inquisitive minds want to know. Let's go back to Skull Spotter channel. Yeah, he's streaming. Skull Skeleton check. Joe Biden checks out. And partner, Bill Gates and partner. Oh boy. Nice. Give us a little watch. The Real Frankenstein series. Oh, the stream starts. Oh, okay. Oh, so these were all streams. Okay. He's in. What site are you in now? Is this Mojave or whatever? Bigger, bolder assets. Oh, I see. So he has a model of a male skull and a model of a female skull. And if the female skull lines up, they're a female. If the male skull lines up, which it won't, then they're a female. That lines right up for the female. Bill Gates, look out. Wait a second. Bill Gates has a female skull? So tell me, Skull Spotter, is it? Or do you not want to reveal it? Is it not so much that they have female skulls, but also what else they are? Female just happens to be an attribute? Let me know. Skull skeleton check. Pro Joe Biden and partner, Bill Gates and partner. Let's go. War Gods of Babylon. The destruction of Nineveh. This looks kind of interesting. Oh, Microsoft broke your email? Oh, Exchange overrode other settings. I don't use Outlook.com. I've tried, I don't get it. Why do you have 3 thumbs down, dude? Who does that shit? Is it because it's like a rerun of like a show from the 70s or something? It's really loud. Skull Spotter, I don't know how you are getting it so loud, but your stuff is loud, bro. It's like really loud. I'm almost down to the bottom. But it just might be my headphones. I don't know, look how low it is. Damn. That place just filled right up with it. Holy shit. It's a lot of water. Storm is subsiding. Drying everything out? What? Oh, the fire? I don't understand. Is this the four horsemen of the apocalypse? Are they in Iraq? Or we gotta find out what that's a scene from. I gotta watch the whole movie. War Gods of Babylon. The destruction. Oh, okay. I already heard that. This is the tidal wave, flood, and blazing fire scene. Got it. I totally read over that and just. So the War Gods of Babylon. I'll have to bookmark that. Save. That was good background footage. All right. Let's see here. What else do I want to do? I'll like it. I'll go to the I should comment on this. I watched this during my stream. Now I have to watch the whole movie. Never knew about the classic. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Da-da. Do-do-do. He's the real Frankenstein. Got the top of my head chopped off or something. Where is it? Let's see. See if I can find it. Biden talking. Getting his cranium removed. Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Oestrogeen, progesteron, and testosterone.
These are rich and loyal bloodlines that have been around for many, many, many centuries. Rich and loyal bloodlines that you and I don't belong to. This is a club, and we're not in it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is skull check Donald Trump. Start with the male skull template. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm actually in the club.
Doesn't fit. Just doesn't fit. Donald Trump has what I call a squishy face. The face is so compacted together, close set of eyes indicating a female. Put the female skull template on and it fits perfectly. Look at those eye sockets. I mean, just look how perfect that fits. We're going to do it one more time in case you missed it. And I want to mention that these famous people, they have a lot of money, especially Donald Trump. They can get most detailed surgeries performed. The best doctors in the house.
Hmm. Probably one of those things they'll just blame you for. You must have did something wrong.
And it can very so look like that they are male or female.
Kabbalah, the tree of life. Cross-dressing existed in ancient pagan worship. Comment being that Ishtar, prototype for Greek Aphrodite and Venus, and a host of other deities. It was identified with the planet Venus as morning and evening star, with the worship of demons. Transvestitism simulated the androgyny of Inanna Ishtar, the inversion of the male-female binary opposition, that thereby neutralized this opposition. By emulating their goddess who was both female and male, they shattered the boundary between the sexes, rising above the prison of flesh. Ishtar, betwixt and the between, paradox, while it tested psychological. The rebel and competition ended in a bloody spectacle of self-cutting. Now all of a sudden you have 0. This means, did I undo it? No. That means someone else thumbs downed it. But you still had a thumbs up. Skull spotter, are you gonna do me? Do my skull. Okay. I get it, I get it. Thumbnail maker? Oh. Female skull. What'd I say? He's a she! He's a she! Oh, what did I do? I don't want to do that. I wanted to pick it, not click it. The Real Frankenstein series, Joe Bidenstein. That's funny. All right. Thanks for the laugh, Skull Spotter. I'm gonna go through and look at some more of these comments. Let's go back. Way back. That's when I said, let's go back, and like, the next thing was, this goes way back. Helen Gurley Brown, editor-in-chief of Cosmopolitan, for 32 years, a transgendered male. I believe that. Yeesh. Look at that. Yikes.
You know, the trans business across Europe is astonishing. I had a paper some months back where I looked at some of the royal families of Europe going back over the last 100 years.
Yes. Yes.
And you can, they jump out at you. The male qualities, they are actually comical.
I mean, isn't that, but it's amazing, isn't it?
Doesn't that go against the skull thing? I'm confused. Or they're females pretending to be males, pretending to be females.
I mean, the royal families of Europe are full of, trannies, basically. Trans people, transsexual. I mean, that's kind of mind-blowing, right? Really?
It is. Now, you could imagine that would have been feasible in the old days, before the use of photographs and video and all of that, where the people wouldn't get to see them very often. And when they did, they wouldn't get much chance to study them.
Yeah, yeah.
And when the camera became
What
available,
the hell is that?
and film footage became
Yeesh.
available, we had a brief window where we could see
Right,
them in
yeah.
the raw, if you like. But in the last 20, 30, 40 years, they appear to
Eugenie.
have greatly improved the quality so that they're much more convincing transgenders now.
Augusta.
And of course, they carry out more surgery on them. I would recommend, if you're interested, to go out and check some of the junior members of the British royal family.
Oh yeah, I
The
have.
ones who are around
That does look like a dude. Holy shit. Yikes.
5, 6, 7, 8. They are just like little boys, you know.
Yeah.
But by the time they're
Come
13,
on.
14, 15, between the chemicals and
Come on. Come on. Ella Grosso trans. What's this say? Let's see what this is. Ella Rosa Giovanna Oliva Grasso was an American politician and member of the Democratic Party. Mr. Des, the spice of Ella Grasso. She transcended gender politics. She was born in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Mount Holyoke College. I don't know.
the hormones, the surgery, and so on, they will be more convincing females than they are.
Yeah.
They're not very convincing if they're.
Yeah, it's just such a
That bad.
strange thing to do. You know, for just normal people like us, we just think, why would anybody want to change their gender or pull out, try to do this deception? And now, do you think it's something they have to do to please their gods, right? Their master.
I think it is. I think it's
By himself.
part of this
Oh, by
cult,
himself.
club,
Yikes.
society. You know, Mrs. Thatcher made a famous remark years back. She was one, and she spoke about a certain person who was getting above a station, and she was saying, he is not one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And, at the time you would tend to think, well, they're speaking only of the power elite. But now that we have a different coloration on that now, because we see it could possibly mean that he wasn't a member of this club.
One of us. Yeah.
One of us.
So there is some club.
And I think the Mitfords used to have a term, you and non.
CEO of MTV.
The you being us, and of course the non-you being the rabble.
CEO of
And if you're one of us, then of course there must be some physical evidence that you have joined this club. Now, I don't think all of the males have to do it, or even all of the females, but I do. It is quite obvious, the more I study this, these people hate natural women.
Yeah.
They hate natural childbirth, they hate natural marriage, they hate natural families.
Yes. Is that their hatred of humanity in general, or what is
Well,
that
it
all
seems
about?
it's
to be
anti-human,
whether Satan hates women more than men, and this is carried through, or whether it's part of a general strategy that they are following to wipe out the family, separate sex and marriage, separate the rearing of children from their parents, so that the state raises and brainwashes the child, and where generation takes place without the uterus, because the striking feature of an androgyne is the thing you can't see. They don't have a uterus.
Ah, great point.
You know.
But they always pretend like they do. The fake pregnant bellies. They have fake pregnant bellies.
Yeah, the fake pregnancy. But this is what they all have in common.
Undoubtedly.
The men who are men don't have a uterus, and the women who who are actually men don't.
Yes.
So you see, Satan hates this because that's the means by which the Lord brought Christ into the world and caused the defeat of Satan. And also Satan in the garden, I mean, he went for the woman because he knew that was the weaker of the two.
It's
and
AI.
He could deceive her. And Paul actually says that Satan didn't deceive Adam.
Ms. Magazine.
Okay.
Adam rebelled. You see, Adam had this amazingly beautiful partner.
Gloria
The
Steinem.
most beautiful woman
Transgender male.
Yeah.
Satan Adam didn't really believe the lies that Satan told. But he went along with it because he was losing his woman. You know?
Yeah.
And this seems to be all part of it. Satan is attacking women. The attack on women today is staggering.
Yeah.
And you see how they're suffering by trying to lose weight, anorexia and bulimia and all kinds of neurotic practices and exercising to death simply to look like one of these strange transgender gargoyles. I mean...
Yeah, and not wanting to get pregnant, to get fat and stuff.
And not wanting to get pregnant.
Not wanting to have babies. Abortion.
That's abortion. The murder of children. Is anything more pleasing to Satan than to have a mother kill her own child?
Wow.
It's just astounding.
Wow.
But
SherryHike.org. She has her own website. The Height Report on Female Sexuality. It's only because of Skull Spotter that a bunch of people are probably even visiting your website. She looks like a woman to me. Look at that headline. Deadliest bug. That's 1976. I don't know. She looks like a woman to me. She looks pretty feminine. Let's listen to her. Female orgasm by Sherry Height.
The most mysterious of organs, the female vagina, the vulva.
Ooh, yeah, that voice is kind of questionable.
The uterus, and especially the clitoris. Names and information about these organs were suppressed for long periods in Western history.
It seems very forced.
For centuries, it was said that women have difficulty having orgasm, that our orgasms are much weaker, not as real as men's. Men's orgasms are so much stronger, their sexual organs bigger, and so on. None of this is true, but for centuries these ideas were considered unquestionable. The 20th century has seen a breakthrough in terms of women determining to gain equal rights and power in society and in private life, to own our own bodies. This includes our sexuality. In fact, sexuality, especially female sexuality, is a central key to women's freedom and status. Why? Because male ownership of women's sexuality is what makes patriarchy possible. When I was growing up, sexuality was something never talked about. My mother and grandmother only rarely spoke with me, if ever, about their own feelings or experiences. And even menstruation was a topic best not mentioned after my initiation into awareness at about age 20.
Alright. Anyways. What's going on JLR? But you know what I gotta do?
Reno too little. 3743. Search Assist New York and Company is an American women's clothing retailer that specializes in workwear and accessories, operated primarily through its online source. That's the type of pants we talking about. It's just strange. Cargo pant found. Waiting to see. Where are you going? We're thinking about going to Nogales.
There's a couple areas I'm going to search. There's a, I'll tell you what it is. I don't like to telegraph, but I will tell you what I'm going to search because there's several of these. It's an abandoned housing complex where like they laid out all the streets, they put all the streets in, and then they didn't sell the lots, and it's just all of these streets out in the desert where, and it's right off the main road. You can drive the main road, get off the main road, and there's just all of these desert streets with houses that never got built. And then you can easily drive in there, go down the main road, get off, and then there's like a maze of streets in there. And then the only way to search it is on a motorcycle. You know, just go up and down, through the lots, through the desert, and you usually see someone going that way, and then taking some of the items in the car. And it's sort of a, you know, I think that's one of the areas. There's a couple others.
We have a registered nurse that wants to talk, Jennifer. She wants to talk about valley fever and things about the case. That's where I think I caught valley fever. Valley fever. We want to talk about the case. All right. I'll bring you in. Nurse Jennifer.
Hello.
Hi, Nurse Jennifer.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
You had valley fever? I think I had valley fever.
Yeah, well, I hope you don't.
Well, I think I
Because
did.
yeah, well, you would still have a lot of symptoms of it. So, because it's a fungus that settles in the lungs, and it's called coccidiomycosis.
Does it make you keep
And-
coughing?
Yes.
Yeah, I keep
It does
coughing.
make for a perpetual cough. It will show up on x-ray like, it looks a little bit like a pneumonia, but it looks more like TB on an x-ray, actually, to be serious.
Holy
But,
smokes.
and it does end up staying with you for your life.
What?
So, like, you won't continue to have respiratory issues for your whole life, but you will carry it, and it can show up as different illnesses later. So you really should wear a mask if you're walking the washes.
Okay, I don't have valley fever. No, I don't want to say I have valley fever for the rest of my life.
He's
Holy
like,
smokes.
yeah. He's like, I changed my mind. I don't want that illness.
No, I don't have that. That's not me. Good to know. How do you catch valley fever?
So it's actually in Arizona, in a bunch of desert areas, but it gets knocked up in the dust, and it's carried. It's just a fungus that lays in the dust. So.
Man, I'll tell you,
Yes.
I woke up with vertigo the other day, wheezing. I still cough a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, when you started talking, I was like,
I don't know.
I need to talk to him about the fungus first.
All right, so wear a mask.
I want you guys to all wear masks.
We have to wear
But
masks.
also-
We're told that
Yeah.
valley fever exists in Arizona. Once you catch it, you have it for life. It's like HIV.
You have to wear what?
Yeah, it becomes latent, but it can show up later as
Va-
different illnesses.
Valley fever. We got to wear a mask. So what is it? A fungus in the desert terrain in the Washington?
It's a fungus that's carried by the dust, and it's kicked up a lot of times in washes if you see that there's like dust blowing, or when there's construction sites or they're digging, all those types of areas.
Jim's talking about it
Anyway.
too right now too. So thank you for that info.
You're welcome. I have a whole bunch of things that I wanted to tell you, but
Sure, go ahead. What do you got to talk
it's
about
not
the
a
case?
great time. Oh, okay. So when the perp was holding up the weeds on the camera,
Mhm.
I did think more that it looked like that was the way he was going to remove the camera. Like, I thought maybe he was looking, because it's hard to, with the gloves as thick as they were, for him to have grabbed it and pulled it off. So I was thinking he was using those sticks. He was looking for a way to pull it off. Anyway, that was just my first thing. But and also, one of the nurses talked to you, I don't know, last week about the pacemaker just failing to connect, and so the timeline could be way off. And she's spot on with that. That it has nothing to do necessarily with the time it disconnected, just that it wasn't able to connect at that specific moment. But also, what about this Savannah Guthrie, when she went out on her illness? The ratings went up when she was off the air for a while, and then when she came back, the ratings dropped. And that was brought up on day one, and then I didn't hear anything else about it after that. And so I am a conspiracy theorist, and I'm trying not to be, but I really am worried that someone connected to the network who wants the money, or her manager that would be in on making money off of her, could do it for the ratings also. Just FYI.
Ratings? Well, they don't really talk about it anymore for the ratings, though. It seems like
I know,
NBC
they
doesn't
did it
even
on day
talk
one,
about this whole
but
case
then-
anymore.
Right, but then did they look into that? Like, that's what I'm really curious as to whether.
How about
they
this?
looked into
I'll even go
people around
conspiracy, in which I don't believe it, but just say I don't believe this. But to allow this to happen, so Savannah stays off the air, and the ratings go back up. If she went off the air and the ratings went up, she comes back, ratings go down. Well, create a tragedy with her. Contract null and voided. You're out of here.
Yeah.
Ratings. Well, no, I don't believe that, but I'm just saying that.
I know.
I don't believe that.
And then when we saw the brother or one of the sons like leaving in the car yesterday, I thought, what if he's had been staying there in her house? And then I thought, oh my God, what if the 84-year-old that was life flighted on that Friday the 13th was really her. They just said it wasn't her because I'm an ER nurse. I would tell you all day long that no, we never got an 84-year-old woman because we're told to keep it a secret. If they have the symbol in front of their name that says it's a secret, you can't tell them that they're there. So I'm really curious as to if they really did recover her that day, and that's why we've had a lot of silence since then. But
interesting stuff. Great questions.
And then the Adult Protective Service card, FYI, when anyone is missing, we do automatically call the Adult Protective Service, so they would automatically have had a report by law enforcement on that first night, and so they would have probably come by and showed that they came by.
Who is they
on
called?
that day.
Who is they?
So law enforcement, or if like they were near a mandated reporter or social worker or anything like that in their meetings, that they would be a mandated reporter, just like law enforcement or any nurse or anything like that. And
are you from Arizona?
No, but I travel nursed out there for years. So
okay. Yeah, it was the Adult Protective Services card is still a mystery in reference to, like, I was told, though, a neighbor called after she noticed her missing, and the Adult Protective Services coming. I just think that's a little strange, but could be how it works.
Yeah, their mandated reporters it's like an automatic when things happen, especially with a violent crime. They would want to check on her when she came back if it turned into nothing. But then now it doesn't matter because the whole world knows about it. And then when they came to the end of the driveway and took their pictures, look, I've been trying to talk to you for 2 weeks, so this is my last two things. But when they took their pictures at the bottom of the driveway and Tommaso's hand went down and there was this thought about, and then she backed up, the Savannah backed away a little bit. That is natural, I think, for any wife to back up a little bit when my sister's husband puts his hand in. You don't want inappropriate pictures, of course. You don't want people to chat about, is there something going on or whatever, or just to respect your own husband, like, hey, dude, whatever, and then back up a little. That would be totally natural for, I think, any wife. So
all right, good to know. Body language about that little incident there. Some say some. I don't know what's going on with that body language. A lot of people have a lot to say about that.
I would back up, though, just out of respect for my own husband. So, all right.
Appreciate the call. Thank you very much. Thank you, nurse.
Hey, don't walk away from there until the police actually come, because what if the mattress cover and sheet because they said the linens were removed from her bed, and if that stuff is there too, the perp may come get that if the cops don't. So
Jim went back down there to the scene. All right, we're gonna just stay put and kind of see what's going on for a bit.
Thanks for calling. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Thank you, nurse. All right, we just spoke to a nurse. I'm gonna move over here a minute. Get my phone out of the sun as we wait for authorities. Doot, 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 doot. See if authorities come. Maybe they come, maybe they don't. Maybe they come. Let me see up here. Let me find a shady spot. Just sit in the shade. Is there any shady spots around here? Could go here. No. And once that Arizona sun comes out, it's like no shade. No, there's one right there. Yeah, I could go here. I'll do it. No, I'll go like here. Here's where I'd go. Maybe go right here. Go right here. Wait. Because if authorities are going to come in, they're going to come in right here. Maybe. I think so. They're going to come in, they're going to come in right here. Maybe. How's the reception out here? Good. JLR investigates. Boots on the ground. Waiting for authorities to come. Sweeney 2222, thank you. Very grateful, thank you. I believe the case will be solved. But when is the question? I don't know. Go get the pants. Maybe the pants might be able to share a clue. Is the pants hers? I would say it's more likely not, but see something, say something, you never know. You never know. Anyone else have anything to say while we're here? While we wait, Sharon wants to, who else wants to talk? Let's see, Sharon. I just found out that Nancy didn't work a knee brace. She had knee replacement surgery in the past. Sharon says she had knee replacement surgery. She did? She did? Sharon had Nancy had knee replacement surgery? We spoke to you before, Sharon. All right, I'm going to get you in the chat. You're saying Nancy had knee replacement surgery? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm fine. JLR investigates.
I know.
So, you're saying Nancy had...
Yes, I just looked it up on Google, and she had knee replacement, and she did wear a knee brace.
Well, Exploring with Jim found a knee brace down there.
I know, that's why I was letting you
It's
know.
right here.
Yeah, I know. It's too much of a coincidence.
I don't know. What do you think about the pants? Seen the photo I shared before with pants? Maybe not those same pants, but I mean, this could be females' pants.
Yeah, it seems like in a lot of pictures you see Nancy in, it's like the tan was her color. She wears a lot of tan. And didn't they say that they found a floral shirt?
There was a blue shirt at the beginning stages that was in front of her house that was used for the dog scents.
Right, just like that.
But it would look like the picture of the blue, kind of like the blue shirt she's wearing with Savannah.
Exactly.
That same color.
Okay, and I have a question.
Sure.
On Tomato, why hasn't he spoke out if he's innocent? Why hasn't he spoke out and made a statement to plead for his innocence?
Don't know. Only he knows.
Isn't that kind of weird? Because if it was me, I'd be letting my words out. I am innocent. You got the wrong person. You did the wrong idea. You know, I did Google that, and she did she had knee replacement, so she wore a brace and used a cane. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the input. Thank you very much, Sharon.
You're very welcome. Stay there in case the sheriffs come. And
yeah, or Jim will hold it down.
Okay, please don't leave until we find justice for Nancy. Bring Nancy home.
Bring Nancy home. Thank you.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.
Bring Nancy home. I don't know. What do you think? Pants. See if anybody else has anything to say while we're here. Oh. Who are these people? We're just looking.
They find Mrs. Guthrie's yet?
About side by side, khaki pants is Kanga. Princess King sent me this side by side. I mean, out of all the pants, you're gonna suddenly have a pair of pants out there that kind of looks like a pair of pants that Nancy wore.
What?
And I got a side by side.
How do you know?
I don't know. I can't tell. I mean,
no.
Size with the pants. Let me go back to Jim and ask him the size of the pants. Some people
12.
say it's not our pants, planted pants. What size?
Planted
Yes,
pants.
well, again, a lot of mixed opinions on this one. Size 12. Come back over here to Jim a minute. Jim will go back. I think Jim went back there to analyze the pants.
Analyze, get it.
Pants. All right. Come back down to the wash. Analyze the pants. I don't think we should touch the pants though. Where's my faith book?
Do not touch the pants. What the hell's going on down there?
Wait for Jim and a pair of pants.
Everything froze up on me. Everything. It froze up.
I don't know. Maybe someone should do the tip line. FBI tip line.
Gotta hit up these faucets.
Jim might. Well, maybe I'll keep it moving and Jim just waits. Jim said he's staying around. I don't know. I don't know if we should just sit here and wait. If Jim is here, he can hold it down. He's the one that found him anyway. Let him, if there's something to deal with rewards or anything like that, Jim should get it. He's the one that found it. Or anything like that. I'm not saying that, I could care less about any reward.
You want the reward.
He's the one that found him. Size 12.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Tip line. ChatGPT, if a size women's 12 khaki pants would fit a male around 5'8".
Male
5'7"
5'8"
to 5'10" person.
In the middle, the pursed lips, she looks like terrified. Like she looks like she is lying. She looks like she's lying. I'm not a body language expert. I think the woman in the middle, I think her
Enrique
face
Iglesias.
could be right next to the label liar. Here's how you detect a liar. I'll illustrate it on the other side. Stay with us, folks. This is important.
Jose Enrique Iglesias.
People perish for lack of knowledge. That's what the Bible tells us. Another way to say it is, those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. God.
Melissa gave me the wrong number. Reach back. I just called it. Rain delay. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we're gonna wait here for authorities. Yeah, pants look like capris. It's at the end of the road as we know it. What should we do? Hello.
Hello, JLR.
Hi, Melissa. How are you? You reached out?
Hey, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What's on your mind in reference to this case?
Okay, so I was thinking about the things in the wash, right?
Uh-huh.
And so the FBI, obviously, they want the tips. I don't think the sheriff's department wants the tips. Okay? I think they want to solve this on their own. So that's why I feel kind of like if you're calling into the sheriff's department, giving them the tips, they really aren't going to want anything to do with it. They're not really pushing forward with it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, I don't know if somebody should just put on some plastic gloves and just bag them up and take them down there and be like, hey.
Signing up for Zoe.computer.
Like, you guys do something with it. Like, we're all sitting around, we're at 41 days now, and nothing.
I mean, I just
Well,
really feel like.
But honest opinion here, you see these pants. You think they have anything to do with this? You think it's possible?
And my mom is like a 5'5", maybe around her same weight, and she's between a 10 and a 12.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to, throw mom out there, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I pants are different on different women. They fit different, and I don't know. I wouldn't leave them out there for somebody to just come get them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, wouldn't clothes be with bones?
Oh, well, the bone part, yeah, that's a little odd. But the bedding?
No. I'm saying wouldn't if you found clothes in a missing person case, you would find bones around the clothing?
No, I don't think so. I think that some kind of way those were discarded separately. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that the FBI, I think they're just kind of going through, with it. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the sheriff's department who's kind of like, well, we're going to solve this over the FBI, but they're not doing anything that we're seeing. So I'm watching from North Carolina, following you since this case started, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, this is really crazy.
It's crazy. So, I had to put the phone in the vent because it's cool and everything's hot in here.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know. I think we're all going to end up with battery packs here at some point because all of our phones are going to start going dead. Just from care. I mean, I go get my nails done, got it in my purse. I'm listening to it with my earpods. Like, it's just, it follows me everywhere I go, too. So, I know my family's like, Mom, you got to find something better to do. But I'm thinking, hey, I want to see y'all get this guy, whoever it is. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't think that the right people I don't think it is the right people, honestly. I think they've just kind of thrown this case out there to see what happens, and it's just really sad, truthfully.
All right, appreciate the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Evidence or items found violates all code for searching and tracking. I would never ever tell anyone to touch a bag or items. Best thing is to take a picture, pin the coordinates, submit to authorities. Someone reached out to me and said that's the best route to do. I don't agree with. I don't want to touch anything either. I would never bag them up and say, "Hey, here you go. I got your clothes." I'm going up to the front of the police. If they're gonna come in, they're gonna come in through here, through the front. I'm gonna try to find a little shady area because my phone was pointing here. Everything over. Ooh, I like this. This. Look at this. Ooh, I like this. Ah, under a tree.
Hasn't sent it to me yet.
Under a
code.
Tree. Send pics to.
Oh, you can text.
FBI.
So.
Goes FBI.
650-300-9560.
Listen, I tagged the location.
Okay, I'll do that.
At this point, I'm thinking.
(650-300-9560). Type Zoe.
It's the end of the road as we know it. So this would be the road the authorities would come in. There is one other back road, but this would be the road that they come in. Plus, Jim's gonna let me know if they're here when they come. But sticking around the scene. Things found. Problems are related? No, I don't know. I don't know.
See if he comes. Nothing yet. Oh, you can resend it. The following so looks pretty sweet. Can you think of any good to suggest? Inconsistent use of inline styles in the stats. Add visible focus states.
Going back down
Add
here.
prefers reduced motion.
Why? Go somewhere. That's what he chooses to do.
The nav links have no area
I'm not really
labels
up for
or
sitting around here all day seeing
skip to
someone to come.
content link.
They know.
Fixed background GIF could cause scroll jank. Add will please implement all suggestion and implement all suggestions and SEO rich with
Hey, Jim.
Placeholder favicons. For now.
Hey, Jim. What's going
So I
on?
know. Size and
What you want to
format.
do about these pants? You just got to sit here and wait?
Wait.
You're going to do another report?
I think so.
What's that?
Jacket. But there's no front zipper. So, there's no front zipper on the jacket. But it looks, it's not very far from the, but you never know,
Complete improved version of the HTML file with
So it looks like it's been here through a couple of rainstorms.
So the pants are over
so
here.
far this looks like a copy of Claude. It looks very Claude-like. It's almost a exact replica of Claude.
Yeah, I don't want to spend all day here. I just want to report this stuff and then go on to my next spot,
Well, I'm gonna go moving. Is that okay? And you're just gonna report it again?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Because who knows when they come?
Yeah, who knows? I'll report it again. I'll go off my screen. I'll report it again. I'll do my due diligence, and that's all I can do.
Where are you going next?
Yeah, it looks just like Claude.
I'm gonna go get my room, get my hotel room, make sure I'm situated, and then I'll do some more searching in the afternoon.
All right, I'm gonna go up these other guys that are searching up the wash.
Okay, sounds good.
See you later, Jim.
Right on, man. Thanks for your help today, JLR.
No, thank you. Well, I mean, hopefully they come and act on these.
Writer, I'm totally blanking on his name. He went to Germany and heard the story firsthand and was like, I had no idea about this. Guy from the UK wrote a book about it and became a bestseller because the people in the UK were horrified at what their government had done and were happy to know that this crime had been committed because, you don't want to be ignorant to the fact that you were in some way unknowingly party to a war crime. So again, the idea of this cavalier, did we even think for a single second about murdering everyone in Germany? It's like, yeah, we did. And you could make the argument that out of necessity, because of the scale to which the war eventually got, certain extraordinary measures were justified. I wouldn't even argue that necessarily, but certainly with Japan, we were dealing with a very different type of enemy. It really is just sick that we have people like Lindsey Graham representing us. And of course, the person who's challenging him, I keep talking about, I got to bring in just find if you can find Lindsey Graham's challenger. She's a Democrat woman who I guarantee you is some sort of far leftist communist, but she's just like, we can't have people like Lindsey Graham representing us. I'm a mother of 4, and I want to look out for South Carolinians, not do whatever this guy's doing. It's Lindsey Graham just like,
This guy keeps
we'll
looking
kill
at
them
this.
all. We'll burn them all to death and we'll dance on their graves. And it's like, okay, I'd vote for her. Why not, right? Just hand it over. Hand over America to the Democrats. Why not? Hand over Iran to the Israelis. Hand over America to the Democrats. And then you can die fat and happy, knowing that you destroyed the world and put a final stake in any possibility that the American people ever regain our nation ever again. Thanks, Lindsay.
Creating file, creating file,
Girl's
creating
name.
file.
Let's go to clip 23 here. Because again, this is rumors. This is from RT. And it's a report about what the Iranians are demanding of America. And if we had people that actually cared about America, they might actually take this offer, and it might actually be a good thing. But when you know the character of the people that run our country and run Israel, they'll never do what Iran wants them to do. They'll just get more and more frustrated that they're not winning. And I think the nuke is like the easiest answer for them, and they might just do it. I've never seen them choose not to do something because of like the insane precedent it would set. The last couple of years has been evidence of the fact that like international outrage, international law, basic decency, the fact that it's all going to be filmed and known by, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't care. They just bombed an elementary school full of school children and then did it again and then again. They've bombed like 13 hospitals. They don't care. Okay. Might actually just be a quicker and more merciful way to do what they're going to do anyway. I don't know. Maybe a nuke is the merciful choice at this junction when you have murderous psychopaths with a seemingly endless supply of smart bombs. Let's go to clip 23 here.
Okay, some updates emerging from the Middle East, and they appear to be significant ones. Our correspondent in Tehran has learned that political discussions are underway at a regional level and that U.S. military assets across the Middle East could soon, allegedly, be evacuated for a period of time. That would then lead to Iran halting its strikes on Gulf states. Just to recall that it said that it would attack those nations if the U.S. had military presence there, and that is what has been seen over the past 12 days. Also, one of Tehran's key goals, we know, is the permanent withdrawal and closure of American bases in the region. The Persian nation, indeed, has threatened that it will not allow those facilities to be rebuilt. When we get a little bit more on this story, we'll verify exactly as to how many, if not all, those U.S. military bases either closed down or shipped out, and what that will mean for the conflict at large in the coming hours.
So, like, do we think that'll happen? Do we really think that America will agree to the demand that we remove all of our bases? I would love it if that was the case. If that was actually the smart move. It's actually a win-win situation. I don't want to be policing the world with having our young men die in some godforsaken desert against the extremists that another branch of our government armed. Like, okay, yeah, let's get the whole bases out and win-win. Okay, you want the bases out, we want the bases out. Let's come to an agreement. That's amazing. Wouldn't that be great? So I guess the question is the U.S. Army more likely to tuck its tail and leave the Middle East and abandon the place where we've fought for trillions, spent trillions of dollars fighting, fought for years, lost hundreds of thousands of lives. Also a major, like the major artery crossroads of the rest of the world. Are we more likely to voluntarily evacuate that area and surrender it to Iran or use a nuclear bomb? Which do you think the United States military, the United States military industrial empire, at the head of which sits Israel, which do you think is more likely? I think I wouldn't be surprised if we'd learned we'd already used a tactical nuke. Some of the big explosions that we've seen recently, the giant mushroom clouds,
it's too large to pass in a single command.
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest to learn, actually, we used a tactical nuke last week. We just didn't tell you. So I think we're very much on the road towards that. Another reason might be this, clip number 28. Seems like the market for nuclear-resistant doomsday shelters is heating up amongst the billionaires. Let's watch.
What I am aware of is that everybody's telling me we're on borrowed time.
707 lines.
You can talk about what might be imminent.
Fewer.
What is imminent?
Time is not a luxury that we can afford. The time has come. We need to start having the conversation collectively. We should have had it a while ago, but we really need to. We really need to start having a conversation.
Yeah, it's probably already written on the wind one way or another, and it's going to happen. And there's little or nothing we can do about it. Part of that is a function of nobody's going to listen anyway, you know, and so who are we talking to, right? So we'll know, maybe we'll have more information.
Public's got to listen
than the
anyway.
person on the street is going to have. Things are really going to be bad, and how do you prepare yourself for that, and those that you love and care for, or friends? How do you prepare for any of that, right? So that's probably the best that we can do.
I think things are going to be pretty difficult starting in a few years. And from what I've been told by sources.
What does that mean? It's going to be difficult?
It's
what
just,
things are...
I mean, I can't say specifically. I don't know that much yet, and I can't really say, but just that a lot of what we take for granted now in life, I don't think is going to be, we're not going to have it. A lot of things we have now that makes our lives as wonderful as they are.
He says that he's as sure as he can be that the people who are calling the shots in the world, you can call them the Illuminati, the controllers, the cabal, whatever name you have for them, they believe that there is going to be what he called a geophysical event, a major geophysical